Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the second game in the series. And all those out there in San Diego this weekend, enjoy Comic-Con. Wish I could be there with you, but I'm there in spirit. Thanks for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? Welcome! And we're out here on the docks where we saw off Susato at the end of last stream. How y'all doing? I'm excited to start the new game. I'll read some more chat in a minute. But once we do that, I want to make some just a few last minute guesses. Nothing big, but just like if we were filling out a bingo card or so, a few guesses for what we might have in store for us, especially coming up in this first chapter. But how are all of you? How was your Thursday? Probably the least appreciated of all days of the week. Over on Twitch, Rukov was the one who was here early today saying, "Here comes LoganRobo, towering, noble, and always ready with a speech about freedom, courage, and standing against tyranny. His voice could command an army, and he transforms into a massive red and blue semi-truck." I see what it is. I see what it is. Wait, that's not LoganRobo. That's Optimus Prime. And if you didn't get that before the reveal, maybe the guy reading isn't LoganRobo either. I got it before the reveal. How you doing, Rukov? Oak is here saying, "Hey, Longa," and then the whole command. One of these days, I should slowly start removing random letters from the whole command and just see how long it takes you to realize. And then Oak says, "Lurk, I am organizing some files, so I have you on in the background, but I might not chat too much." But thank you for having me on the background. Enjoy your files. Make sure to, drag and drop those ones and copy and paste or cut and paste because you got to move them around there. Queen Katie says, "Howdy. Thank you, Mr. Logan, for going live. I spent the past 40 minutes browsing a Tumblr art blog who does only fan art for these games. It's so good." So I tore you away from that. Well, thank you for coming here instead of being just absorbed by all of that. Magpie says, Magpie flying in. How we doing, chat? I'm doing well. How you doing, Magpie? Bubbo says, "Gambling at frowny face." No! And over on YouTube, Dermo's here with a simple and yet straight to the point. Hi. How you doing, Dermo? Okay, so last time we finished the first game. We're gonna be starting the second game here. So I have a couple of guesses for this. Y'all told me to make sure to turn off the costumes. I had turned them on so that they would be here right away, but I'm just gonna double check to make sure that they are off. Because y'all said the first case, it would be confusing if they were, the alternate costumes were on.
Remember, chat, LoganRobo is more afraid of you than you are afraid of him.
Oh, definitely.
Go for the eyes. And to Logan, stay lonely, my friend.
Thank you, Rukov. Thank you for the 10 bits. And again, I'm assuming that means that you're off to sleep. So sleep well. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I am more afraid of you than anyone should ever be of me. But thank you for the 10 bits, Rukov. Have a great night. But yeah, so I'm guessing that the reason why they want to have the costumes off is that the first chapter is going to be a flashback chapter. Kind of like we did in, what was it, Trials and Tribulations, where the first chapter, was the first one? Yeah, there was like a flashback one. Or wait, or was that Justice for All? No, I think it was, I don't know. One of them was a flashback. Or might not even been the first one. So I think we're gonna have a flashback chapter. My predictions, I think it's gonna involve Kazuma. I think we're going to find out a little bit more about what it was, the unfinished business that he had to do in Britain. I think that unfinished business is going to involve Van Zieks. I think Van Zieks might have visited Japan, so it might be in the past, and it'll be in Japan. Then we'll get to see like Ouchie, Winston Payne, Gaspin Payne's ancestor, and the judge from Japan. And so I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be Kazuma in the past. Van Zeeks is going to be there. We're going to get a hint of what the unfinished business is. We'll probably find out more as it goes on. Throughout the whole game, I hope that we just finally get the whole deal with the Hound of the Baskervilles, Jezebel Brett's motive. I'm guessing she was probably like a hired assassin for somebody to kill Wilson. But yeah, that's my guess. First chapter, flashback, Kazuma, Van Zeeks in Japan. I don't know if it's right or not, but that's what I'm doing here. So let's go ahead and load the game where we left off last time. Wait, did it not have a save after the closing credits? Maybe it didn't, because that says Port of Dover. So let's just select our adventure. So we gotta change that, right? The Great Ace Attorney Resolve. Oh, so we have adventures and resolve. How could it be resolved to? We've only had, this is our first resolve. Okay. Are you guys ready? I'm going to read one or two more quick comments, and then we'll get in the game, because I'm assuming there'll be a cutscene. It probably won't be fully animated. I think last time Queen Katie said that the second game has no hand-drawn animated cutscenes, but there might be 3D ones. Queen says, anyway, rah! Second game! Fun fact, Logan, one of the spoiler clips for today is something you have somehow clipped yourself and made into a TikTok/short. You'll figure this out when we get there, but I'm sure I wanted to tell you how shocked I was seeing it, lol. I'm guessing it's just something I thought would be funny. It's not going to be... Is it the one about Kazuma farting to make his headband waft in the breeze? Is that going to be for realsies? For reals? Bubba says, but hello, I am welcome here, aren't I? Absolutely, I'm sorry that you got a gambling ad, Bumbo, but welcome! Shiro says, wee! How you doing, Shiro? Welcome. And I'm still caught up over on YouTube. Dermo, thank you for holding down the fort over there on YouTube. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Let's do this. New game. Light mode. Look at those clouds. That cloud looks like a cloud. That cloud looks like a tree because it's green and brown. That cloud looks like Susato. Oh crap, did her dad die?
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean.
Or maybe it's Kazuma's grave.
Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital.
I like her accent. Huh? Aww.
You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court.
Also, those don't look like actual characters.
For taking so long to come to visit you.
Written there, so.
My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened.
I mean, the writer of the game probably could.
2 months after arriving home.
Oh, wait. I find myself faced with another awful crime. A pen, a knife, a glass of wine, a mask! Jezebel Brett!
So I came here today to ask something of you.
Jezebel Brett?
Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court.
Jezebel Brett?
For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
What? Wait, Susato's the lawyer? I was about to ask if she's gonna be like the weird girl accused, like Maya. Oh, is Jezebel Brett dead? Yay!
So
Jezebel Brett! I hope her swan's okay.
I ask for your guidance.
And the swan is doing a good job of just staying very still. Okay, so it is Kazuma's grave. So they brought his remains back and buried him on a very picturesque hill. Episode 1. The Adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. That can't be a reference to a Sherlock Holmes story, right? Okay, so we saw it would look like Susato on one side, but who's that on the other? 13th August, 8:26 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant Antechamber 3. Here I am again. After 9 months, the Supreme Court of Judicature... can I have her voiceover just be my normal voice? Didn't we? I think that's how we handled it in Apollo Justice, right? Here I am again after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Should we do a poll? Maybe I need to ask you guys. Would my voiceover be normal? I feel like that's what happened when we played Danganronpa V3, and y'all encouraged me to have a silly voice for a certain character. I'm fine. I'll do it. Her voice is the voiceover. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. Good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late. Oh, yes, good morning, sir. Don't call him sir. That's your dad. Call him Pop Pop. I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, Counsel. But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Oh, dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born. That's how I feel whenever I'm nauseous. Apparently death is a preferable alternative. Goodness, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. So is our dad the defendant here? Eugene Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And, of course, my brilliant father. Okay. So, is this gonna be Ryunosuke? Did he come back to visit us? Wait, no, she said she was only gone 2 months. That would have been, that's the amount of time it would have taken for a full trip. And she said that she's assuming we're still in court in England. Maybe Hosonaga. Excuse me. We have another weird girl? Okay, so this is the other girl silhouette, and I thought that was Susato. And would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? So this is our client. So it's not our dad. It's this girl. Okay. Well, I'm gonna pause for a second to read some chat because we're meeting characters and we're into the game. We've done like 3 minutes of gameplay. I can read some more in the chat now, right? I'm allowed. Let's see. Bumbo says the flashback was Trials and Tribulations. Okay, good. I was sometimes I get like Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations mixed up. That was like so many years ago. Shiro says Logan is really overthinking us, saying don't use the outfits. I guess so. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I was so hoping I'd be right. I'd be so impressive because like last game, I think there was only one thing I predicted correct, and that was the whole thing about Ashley Graydon's parentage. Everything else, I was so far off on. Shiro says, resolve! Quickita says, yeah, the budget was lowered, so any cutscenes we get will be with 3D models. Boo! Either that or just static art, and then a smile, and a mwah. Over on YouTube, Frozy says, how many picturesque hills do you think they dug up trying to find one that doesn't have a noble warrior's grave? That's the thing, they're probably all of them. And when you get a grave up there, it's probably either just the one person or that person and then like immediate family members, like a wife or a kid or something like that. But sometimes a kid, that way Uncle Iroh can go up there and sing a little song and it'll be very sad. But how are you doing, Frozy? Frozy, in case you missed it, we did at the behest of chat, turned back off the costumes for this opening case. Because apparently it causes confusion. But we will turn him back on, Frilzy. I promise. Shiro says, Kazuma's headband flaps through sheer force of will. It's a theory that he only died because the headband stopped flapping. Oh, it's like Charmander with his tail. And has a little flame that if the flame goes out, Charmander dies. Similar to how the Pokemon Spoink cannot stop bouncing. Or its heart stops? I didn't know that bit of lore about Spoink. That's even sadder than Charmander. That's more like a shark. Don't they say that sharks have to keep moving? Otherwise they suffocate. I don't think it's that they really have to keep moving. They just have to keep water going over their gills. So I bet if a shark was like in a current rushing fast enough, it could probably just kind of chill and hover for a minute. Oh, and Frozy with a frowny face. I'm sorry for disappointing you, Frozy. I'm sorry. Magpie says they might be real characters.
It's a game!
Thank you, Rukov. I thought you were asleep, but I'm certainly awake now. But thank you, Rukov. I'll assume I need to get back in the game. But I'll finish reading Magpie's comment of they might be real characters, but in cursive. Do Japanese characters like hiragana and katakana and kanji, do they have cursive? I don't know if they got cursive, but they might. Are you guys all the generation that you can't read cursive? It's disappointing. Oh, yes, that's right. Miss? well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. Is that an okay voice for her? Only other voice I can think of is the Noelle voice. I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me, but I want to save that for somebody else, because that was that needs to go to someone special, I think.
I'm pretty sure my class was the last class that they taught cursive to at my elementary school.
Really? That is just, it disappoints me. It's so sad. Like, now, I told you guys how I learned cursive, right? I have an older brother who was, as a child, very, like, full of himself and always, like, looking for opportunities to kind of brag and show off, like, whatever he had learned. And I remember after kindergarten, my family moved to Utah. It's when we came here. And during the drive over, I guess he had recently-ish, I don't know how long, learned cursive in school. And so he decided that he was going to teach. So he taught me cursive on the long drive from California to Utah. And so that's when I learned cursive, right after kindergarten. So it's an easy thing to learn. But anyway, let's see. Dermo says hi, Frilzy. Taco says hello, guys. Guys. Oh, just guys, not even gays this time. And Dermo says, I can read cursive. Learned to write it too. Been years since I've used it. Oh, it's been a long time since I've used it also, but it's probably a good skill to have. One day, I'd like to learn how to write in shorthand. My mom knows how to do that. And it blows my mind anytime I see her, like, write a little note to herself in shorthand, because, like, it just looks like nonsense to me. Okay, let's get back in the game. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing. Are we gonna get a name? Ray Membami. I like that name, Membami. It reminds me of the Mimbari from Babylon 5. Anybody here ever watch Babylon 5? I hope I don't ever out-nerd all of you guys. Born the same year as I, and my greatest friend. Oh, okay, so Susato has friends outside of us. I did not know that. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. Accused of committing a truly awful murder. Only awful because the person was awful who got killed. Are you feeling all right? What if it turns out that Susato's dad did the murder? Because, like, she killed Wilson. What if he killed her in revenge? And then Susato's dad is going to get, like, executed or something. You know, but that'll give her the opportunity to come back to Britain. So maybe it just kind of is a problem that solves itself. It's nice to see that he's no longer sick, since that was the whole reason she came back to Japan anyway. He seems up on his feet. So yeah, he recovered from his illness. He did a murder. He's going to get executed. Then Susato can come back and live with us again. Are you feeling all right? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Huh?
The school my nephews go to, mentioning because you know them, my nieces go there too, is a public charter school, and they are strange because cursive is required.
Hey!
Like Logan's obligation to remain lonely.
I wish that wasn't required. I would very much like to end that. I have thought about it, like I joked in the past, and we even thought about maybe kind of doing it for funsies in one of our Just Chatting streams. You remember I had you guys submit possible dating bios? What would you guys think if I did a Just Chatting stream one of these days that is literally just creating a dating app profile for me, and then put it up there, and then just see what happens, and see if I get matches? Maybe. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Rukov. Well, to have become a little flushed. Oh my, it's just that... Oh, look at those sparkling little eyes! You look so gallant and dashing. Oh, this is probably why we didn't want the costumes. I bet Susato has like a lawyer uniform.
Do eat. Then I would stop with the stay lonely stuff.
Do eat. Oh, you're probably saying do it. So if I do that, will you stop even though I won't get any matches and I'll probably still be lonely? Then you'll no longer call me lonely? Is that how it works? But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Rukov. Okay, are we gonna get to see Susato? We probably won't see until we go into the courtroom. I bet she has like a full-on lawyer outfit. Rukov with a pin message saying, maybe. Well, thank you for the potentialness, potentiality. Oh, I think potential is just the noun form of potential. Sorry? And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. That's right. That's right, we're starting this game off with some really intense Yuri bait. Oh, the Yuri, the power of Yuri. Goodness. I don't think she knows that I'm straight. Oh no, I'm the first lawyer in this entire game series who's straight. She hasn't realized who I am. Oh, wait, she doesn't. It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. Oh, that's right. Last time when we were in Japan, there's a whole thing where that Susato couldn't be an official judicial assistant because like women weren't allowed to do that. So she's probably, we're Mulaning it. We're dressed as a boy to be a lawyer here. Okay, so she's got to be in disguise. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Disguise? Best friend? If? Yes. I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it'd be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. Father? Question mark? I don't know any of these words. Oh, you're a girl. Oh, that's even hotter. What? Is that you, Susato? I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray. It's just that, no, what are you doing? What's going on? What? Ah, the varsity uniform, that varsity cap, the varsity cape, the varsity badge. What? The varsity what? Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student. Oh. I'm so glad you think so. Mission accomplished. Oh, there's a pin message on Twitch. Oh, hang on. I forget. When I mouse over, it does that. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start. I thought it took a long time to get ready as a girl. It takes even longer to get ready as a dude. I just shaved my face. Gotta scratch my junk. Okay, let me see this pin message written by Rukov. Pinned by Rukov says the word you were looking for is promise in Portentia? I will take your word for that then. And stay lonely again. Thank you, Rukov. Have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna read some more in the chat. Let's see. Queen Katie with an evil smile. Shiro says, Brett is down. Yatta. It's like, we did it. Yatta. Another pin message. This is written by Shiro, pinned by Rukov, says, mods, please pin. Susato being in disguise is why we said to disable the outfits. Once you get in trial and see her in this outfit, you can decide from there if you want to then turn on the outfits. It actually makes the case funnier because Susato isn't disguised anymore. Well, I want to see what it is. If it's a fun disguise, I'm assuming it's like only this first chapter we'll get to see it. So we'll probably leave the costumes off for this one. That's what I'm assuming, unless I hate it. And then we'll turn them on for the next one. So thank you very much for the pin message. Thank you, Shiro, for the information. And thank you, Rukov, for pinning it. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Let's see. Taco says, can't stay. I broke my wrist? And I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for Peter Taco. Please take care of yourself. I feel like you're like misfortune follows you everywhere. Please take care of your wrist and sleep well. Derma says, bye Taco. Hope you feel better. Logan ... Even as a bit, that idea is too sad. Her dad being the culprit. I mean, again, it would tidy up a lot of loose ends. Very, very neatly. Rivulet says, dang, intense gaze. Her intense gaze, but it's gay, like plural of gay, gaze. I see what you did there, Rivulet. High five for the pun. Derma says, nah, Susato scratching your junk is a novice move. Real men use a really long step method. I use the try and just very subtly readjust myself as standing up from my chair method. Let's see. Queen Gata says, the Japanese translated name for this case is The Adventures of an Attorney Girl and Her Resolve. I just like that. Attorney girl. The only thing better is if they call like a lady lawyer or something like that. Shira says, I think your regular voice works for a character you meet in this game. Can it be Ryunosuke? Atlantic says, hello, Yellow, how you doing, Atlantic? And Magpie says, I love that the toggle for his kimono is pink. I imagine it's to match his family crest. Wait, who's? Wait, the toggle for his, are we talking about Mikotoba? Let's keep playing and we'll find out soon. But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see, sexism.
It was the only way. Because sexism. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial.
Are there like no other lawyers willing to represent her? My defense? I mean, Cosmo's with us because he was our friend. I mean, I guess, yeah, we're her friend, but she didn't know this. I'm very confused.
Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. I mean, sometimes I'm frustrated at my boobs. Not that I have them, but they're very lopsided. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. I mean, except for last time when I set foot in the courtroom and Jezeel Brett set foot in the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike.
But women are forbidden.
Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door. Shh. So that I can act as your lawyer.
Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me. Oh, the Yuri gays. It's gays and it's gays. We are gay.
Of course. You're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you. I mean, honestly, she's probably gonna be better at this than Ryunosuke was. I hope when we get in there, because you know how every lawyer we are, whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Apollo, whether it's Athena, whether it's Ryunosuke, always like has those looks of, I screwed up. Susato always has so much poise and so much grace. I want to see her get frazzled.
Ray.
Oh, it's so strange though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman. What a wretched reason. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing.
Ray? Please don't look at me like that. With those flushed cheeks and doting eyes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you really do look so dashing and I want to do you. I mean, smooch you. I mean, hold hands with you. I mean, do you. Yes, I want to do you.
Yes, you mentioned that once or twice.
She wants to do my daughter. You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man.
I am pleased, I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. Ray, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly.
You know, all this setup makes me wonder what Queen Katie's spoiler clip is going to be, because there's actually a clip I've gotten a timestamp for that I have not made a TikTok out of yet. TikTok or YouTube short out of yet, but I plan to. And it was the one where, for some reason, I had like Van Zeeks and the judge both demanded that Susato do something, like she was going to present evidence, but she had to do it in a boy's voice and pretend to be a boy. And so now I'm having flashbacks to that, because I'm still going to make a video out of that. I thought it was a funny bit, but it's taking on a whole new dimension here.
Susato.
Oh, sorry, Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder? Oh, I'd only do attempted murder because I know I'd fail. Hang on, we can't look at our court record. I want to see if we had an armband. But I assume they're keeping our appearance like really mysterious till we get in there.
Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. By the way, after we're done here, you want to travel with me to Great Britain and die on a boat? It'll be fun for me. Isn't that right?
Yes, it is. Perfectly clean.
I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. I learned that about Ryunosuke and Gina.
So I hope Ray like hangs out with us. We always gotta have like someone with us behind the bench, right? Hope it's not just our dad. That means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant, counsel! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
Can't wait to see Ouchie. I hope his hair is like longer but more bald on top.
You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty.
That's harsh. Oh. Stand aside. Oh, run. Kick down the door. Punch the one bailiff in the face. Punch the other in the junk.
I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast, or punch a junk so fast. She usually punches the junk slow, just grinds her knuckles into there. It's like giving a noogie, but not on your head here, on your head down. Yeah, anyway.
Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But Father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming Ray doesn't know how it came to this.
Wait, what?
Yes, we as you know, we in this family love keeping secrets for no reason. Quite right, I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Okay, so finally we got an explanation for why we're having to do this.
I didn't want to burden her with that.
I'm gonna assume it has nothing to do with the evidence. She probably just smells bad. Horrible body odor, which really says something back in those days, because like they did not have good hygiene back then.
And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of her body odor? I mean, who the victim was?
Oh, wait, was it not Jezeel Brett? Because Jezeel Brett was a... Oh, hang on. Oh, actually, I was gonna say she was a convicted killer. But no, she never was convicted. The whole thing was it implied that she was gonna get off scot-free because she was just gonna get like sent back to England or something like that. And so, oh, that's probably why, because they're so nervous about the whole treaty with England and they don't want to screw it up. So it's like, oh, we don't want to go easy on someone who killed a British national.
We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student.
Crap, he's gonna be our weird girl sidekick. Chat, our dad is our weird girl sidekick.
Thank you, Father.
Never had a weird girl sidekick with a mustache before. Just seems wrong.
I'm Susato Mikotoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan.
Guys, I wonder, is Susato gonna be the new protagonist of the whole game or just the opening chapter? I mean, that could be kind of fun.
How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. See, I'm not in England. I don't have to say mister. I'll use honorifics the Japanese way.
Okay, so 35 minutes in the stream, we made it to the trial.
13th August, 9 o'clock a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 1, Courtroom Ichi.
Oh, wait, Ouchie does have different hair. His hair is all long now. This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami. I'm gonna read some more in the chat now, because we made it to the trial. Oh, hang on, I should probably save also. I mean, not that we've done anything. But, oh, crap, I gotta save over. I share save files with the previous game. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'm gonna have to, like, erase things here. Okay, so where was the one that had there was the end of the last one. So let's just save here on 13. Lucky number 13. Save my poggers. Yes, save my poggers. and then I'll read some chat. Let's see. Queegan said Logan will figure out very quickly why we said to turn off the outfits. Shiro said get used to not being correct. Probably. Magpie says, I can read and write in cursive, but I'm older than probably most of chat. Aw. Queegan says, oh, by the way, Logan, in the first trial cross-examine, you cannot die, so feel free to be as silly as you want. Okay. I won't be silly. Thank you very much. But just in the, when you say the first trial, it's like all the cross-examinations of the first trial, like there's like none of them are just the very first cross-examination. Shiro says, I know cursive, homeschool life, nice. Congratulations, Shiro. Quickita says, Oak, I can tell you that my school attempted to teach me cursive when I was in 3rd grade. They gave up quickly, though, quote, yeah, you can learn it if you want, but it doesn't matter. Oh, well, I'm 26 now. Shiro says, side note, I had a customer at work today that said they were from Utah, and they mentioned the Utah holiday you mentioned the other day. Oh, Pioneer Day. That's tomorrow, the 24th of July. That's right, which, again, there's like a big drought going on, so it's not like we're going to be able to set up fireworks anyway, so there's nothing really to do. But I hope that your Utah customer was a good and noble representative of our fine state here. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Durma says, no, the dating profile idea. Oh, that's the idea that's too sad. I don't know, like, but it would be the chat making it, so it'd be funny. We had some people submit stuff, and they were like funny things for the bio, but maybe it would be. Maybe it would be too sad. Or do you just think the idea of me finally finding happiness is sad? And the Durma says, wait, and Ray is in the court. Consistency. Wait. Consistency game. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because she can go in as a defendant. Or maybe she has to like wait outside and just like sit in a waiting room. It's like, I hope that things are going well. Shiro says on YouTube, Dermo, it's explained more in the first game. It's more specifically stated the women can only be in the courtroom to testify. And the Dermo says, fastest junk puncher in the East. Ray. And then Shiro says, for fun, Logan, second choice you have to make is an achievement if you want to. Okay, I'll try and keep an eye for achievement and try and guess what it would be. Thank you for the heads up on that, Shiro. All right, let's get into this now. Court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami. Do we have, hey, Queen Katie, do we have a name fact for Ray Membami? The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. And it's exactly what I said. Longer on the sides, balder on the top. Just like a Winston Gaspin Payne ancestor should be. Defense counsel, are you ready?
Yes, Your Excellency, we are ready.
I need to see something. Hang on. I want to see what she would look like in that, because her little pose there in her outfit, because I don't know if she's ever going to look like this again, pretending to be a lawyer. So hang on, we're going to very briefly go back out to the title. Don't save, because I already saved. Yes. And we're going to turn on her costume and go back in. I just want to see what it looks like. I just want to see this. I just want to have fun. I want to enjoy the game to its fullest. Let's turn on that. And let's go back into the game. And check this out. Does she at least have the cloak on still? Just...
No one can tell I'm a lady, right? Are all the hearts and the flowers on my hat a giveaway?
Okay, then now we'll go back again. Put it back to turned off costumes, and we'll proceed. I just wanted to see what that would look like. I wanted to check it out. So let's see, special contents, and Taylor. Turn off. There we go. Load game, and there we are. Now we can continue. I just had to see. The big cloak there. The big cloak is what covers up the fact that she's a Karua.
Yes, Your Excellency, we are ready.
Is he going to talk on our behalf so the judge doesn't hear a young girl voice coming from us?
Ready? Ready. I'm a boy.
Oh, goodness, that is a boy. Yes, counsel boy. According to your registration details, your name is...
Oh, I hope please be a pun on her being a boy. I'm guessing it's just going to be a Japanese-sounding name, but I hope it's a pun. Your name is, Ryutaro Naruhodo. Ah! just like Ryunosuke Naruhodo. She's taken on a variation of our name. So I wonder what the difference between the suffix of Nosuke versus Taro, if there's significance there. Is that correct?
Sorry.
Oh, our window even says Ryutaro.
Sorry, I'm a boy.
Look at her eyes, just like Ryunosuke. This is great.
Oh, yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you in this little venture.
Oh crap, he did it! I thought it was sweet that she named herself after Ryunosuke.
So I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind.
Well, counsel!
Yes, that's right. That's me. Yes, I'm Ryutaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. I hope I don't have to shave halfway through the trap. My facial hair grows so fast here. Boy.
Oh, that's such a manly boy!
It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen.
Naruhodo. Did we decide that Naruhodo means, was it like I understand or something like that?
A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be?
You can't just say perchance!
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program with an ME. This is,
His cousin.
That's right. Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
Any of them? Tut! What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused had to call in a country boy.
How dare you! Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys, and she's hot, he is hot. Susato, he is hot. I won't have you making fun of her. Oh, she's hot.
Her? Please be careful, Ray. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending?
I love that he just drops the whole thing of her referring to us as a girl.
His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not. Oh, I'm so nervous! Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit.
It's true. Oh, my eyes have been wanting to do this all day. Oh, it feels so good. I love flitting my eyes. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact,
Okay, I'll check some chat in a second as soon as we get some background music. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Queen Katie. I appreciate that. Wait, look at the bottom of the chat. Wait, saying, oh no mods are gone. Wait, what? Is there a bot in the chat, or is there a spoiler that needs to be deleted or something?
In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire.
Just like the trial 9 months ago.
Okay, so 9 months have passed. We've had a video game baby.
But yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me!
Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense.
I'm glancing over the bottom of the chat again, see if it's a bot. Oh no, Shira says, read my message above that. Oh, please, Pin, just realized misread. Achievements on the first decision, not the second. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shiro. So we'll see when we get there. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense to determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom. Oh, I can assure you I'm not. I am not. Let's save. Just in case I miss whatever the achievement is that we got to do. So thank you very much, Shiro. I appreciate that. Once again, when we get to background music, I will read some chat, okay? There we go.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now.
So now I can read some chat. We got some music. Let's see. Queen Katie says, I know how to do Katie in cursive, but nothing else. My brain wanted to misread that, and I thought for a second you were saying I know how to do Katie cursive. I'm like, what's Katie cursive? You have your own cursive? Magpie says, cursive is funny because it's really just writing the characters but a little loopier and fancier, but the way it's taught often ignores the actual letter shapes, like capital G and capital S are often taught in a way that makes it hard to understand the difference. But if you actually know how to look at it, they're just the G and S shapes, but loopy. I also want to learn how to write shorthand though, because it's cool. Yeah, I want to learn that too. And yeah, there's some of them. I remember like when I was a kid, I started to figure out some of the shapes and I tried writing some of them like a cursive S more like to more emphasize the S-ness of it. And my teacher marked me down on a paper for writing the cursive S wrong. I'm like, I'm just trying to stylize it more. Quiggin says, certainly not my very long last name. Shira says, remember me. That's Ray's name pun. Membami? It means remember me? Membami? Ray. Oh, remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Oh, it's great. It's like the Coco song. Remember me. Oh, I like that. How did I miss that? And then Quigady with an official Japanese official name fact. Her Japanese version name is Haori Murasame. Her surname Murasame is derived from the Japanese term for passing shower, and her given name Haori refers to the Japanese clothing of the same name. Her full English name is a play on Remember Me. Membami initially didn't exist in Shutakumi's planned scenario for the adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. In fact, the defendant was originally going to be Eugene. Oh yes, that means he can't be the culprit. Darn it! If he was originally going to be the defendant, he can't be the culprit. Was going to be Eugene, with the story centered around Susato defending her father. However, Kazuya Nuri pointed out that if Susato and Membami were friends, it would parallel the relationship between Ryunosuke Naruhodo and Kazuma Asogi, and thereby providing more character depth to Susato. I like that. I like the parallels. Let me take a look over YouTube chat. Shiro says, for fun, Logan, second choice you have to make, we already read that. Said, I have guidance for the achievement ready if you aren't sure how to get it. Remember me, my favorite girl failure. And Durban says, the way I think of cursive is writing with one stroke. It's all the continuous for each word, except when you have to stop to dot or cross. And then Durban says, which can be very useful. Like, yeah, you can write a lot faster. You're having to like not pick up the pencil as much. Some of the letters do look weird. I think like lowercase b and lowercase f and some of those things look weird. But like if you're used to it, you're good. But then again, like F's are weird in general. You ever take a look at like old timey books printed from like 150, 200 years ago, something like that? The lowercase s looks like a big fancy F a lot of the time, and it weirds me out. Sorry, I needed some water. We're getting close to an hour into the stream, and I hadn't had a sip of water yet. I think I might have accidentally passed a hydrate command somewhere and just forgotten to do it, so I'll take an extra sip, in fact. Let's see, and Shira says, I was gonna say once it actually showed Eugene was her assistant for the case. Shira says, wow, savage. Okay, so let's play some more.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now. This same judge tested him as well.
What was the question? It was just like, who is it you're defending or something like that?
And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors.
I remember the name of my client.
For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy.
So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions? Is this the first simple question? Can I say no, and then you can't have asked me this retroactively? Wow, keep your cloak on. You look like a lady. Dude looks like a lady!
All right, it's time to prove myself. Ow! Yes, Your Excellency. Please do make them simple.
Very well. To start with, you will state the name of the victim.
I'm gonna save. So this will be the first one, so we need to do something silly. I'm gonna save just in case I messed up. Obviously it's Jezzael Brett, because we saw her in the opening animation. I'm glad we're returning to her, because it has has grated on me that we haven't known her motive for killing John Wilson.
Phew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried.
What's the matter?
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, minds are wont to blank!
I hope we just keep doing that. The blanks are want to fill in the blank.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise.
That guys, as guys. Guys' clothes are guys. You're guys as guys. Guys. You're in a guys. A guy, G-Y-apostrophe-S, guys, G-U-I-S-E. You're in a guys.
Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances.
So this is the in-game explanation for why she is going to suddenly suck at this, even though she's been the calm, collected, and really smart one the entire first game.
Oh dear, this is a dismal... Oh dear, this is a dismal failure.
She can probably talk normal to her dad, I guess.
Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem.
Huh. Of course, the court record! Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record!
That's right, just use E to open the court record. We're breaking the fourth wall already. Then you need to flip to the people section with ease. You see what I did there? And don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely.
All right, check the court record with E. That's where the information I need will be. It rhymed.
Okay, let's save. And let's take a look at the court record. Based on that thumbnail, looks like there's going to be 4 people. There's going to be our client, our dad, Jezzael Brett, and Ouchie. I want to say it's Ouchie is the victim, but I probably can't. That's what I want to do. But I saved, so if I don't get an achievement, I can just go back and save Scumless until we get the right one. I'm waiting, counsel! What is the name of the victim in this case? Oh, those are my only options? Oh, I can't say Ouchie! So one of these two is going to be the funny thing. So let's take a look at the court record. Let's read up on these people. Wait, what's this? Post-mortem report. Time of death, just after 2 p.m. Death is believed to be due to trauma to the victim's lung from a knife blade. Only a single wound was identified. Victim... Thank you, Toilet Duck. I saved. I will save again right before doing this. I will. I promise. Thank you, Queen Katie. Victim, Jezzael Brett, female, British. Time of death, 11th August, at around 2 p.m., ascertained by examination and witness statements. Cause of death. I hope we get new witnesses. I was not like the same Yesanosa and Kurio Correcta again. Cause of death. Single stab wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. So not instantaneous then. Notes. Extreme meiosis? Isn't that... Oh no, I was going to say isn't that cellular division? That's mitosis and meiosis. Pupil constriction was observed in the victim in both eyes. So is that something with the no, because if your eyes were closed, your pupils would dilate. So it's like a light was shined in her face, or maybe that's the result of some toxin? Okay, let's take a look at people. Who do we got? Eugene Mikotoba, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He is an authority in forensic medicine in charge of the ministry's laboratory. He also happens to be my father. Rei Membami, my best friend, who works as an assistant to my father in his laboratory at the Imperial Yume University. She's the defendant in this case. I do have to admit, like, Rei Membami is a little close to a Kingdom of Kurain type of name pun. But I didn't notice it right away. So it gets a pass. Jezzael Brett! The victim of the case, who was a former British exchange student 9 months ago, she was found guilty of the murder of visiting Professor Dr. John Wilson, but nothing bad happened to her. Takesuchi Ouchi, the lead prosecutor of this case, who appears to be struggling to accept the changes afoot as a result of the turbulent new times in Japan, the Meiji era. Okay, So we're gonna save right here because we had a toilet duck. We're gonna save, and I'm gonna try ouchie, and then if that doesn't give me an achievement, we'll go back and do our dad, and then we'll probably get an achievement, and then we'll go back and we'll say the right thing. Okay. The victim is Takisuchi Ouchie. It's him right over there. He's the victim.
The victim in this case is, yes, Prosecutor Takisuchi Ouchie.
Hey, Ouchie, you're dead. When did you die?
When did I die? Gotta check. Why the sudden triumphant cry of yes? Are you threatening to kill me?
He seems angry.
Oh, sorry, he seems angry.
And you're surprised? Did you consult the court record? You must look through it carefully.
Oh, yes, I did. Of course, I looked at everyone on file. And I chose the person whose features appeared to be the most deathly.
I thought it was gonna be the person that she just wished was dead.
Huh? I must say, this most unusual methodology of yours leaves me almost speechless.
Yeah, wow, as soon as we're in the lawyer's shoes, we are suddenly very dumb.
It occurs to me with renewed certainty that reading the information carefully is vitally important. I strongly recommend it.
Oh dear, I simply can't ignore that imploring look. Your Excellency, please allow me to amend my answer.
Very well, I will excuse this incorrect response given your wide-eyed state of panic. What is the name of the victim in this case? Eugene Mikotoba!
The victim in this case is none other than Professor Eugene Mikotoba, right next to me here. He's my dad. He made me.
Wait!
Well, okay, to be written off by one's own child.
Father, you seem suddenly so much older and wearier than you were mere moments ago.
Because of you, clearly. The judge is asking for the victim's name, the person who was killed in this case. Look through the information in the court record again carefully before you kill me, for mercy's sake.
Oh dear, I simply can't ignore that disproving
achievement unlocked! Father Frustrator for having named Takisuchi Ouchie and Yuji Mikotoba as the victim. Okay, so I had to do both of them. I had assumed it was just gonna be one or the other, so I had to do both of them. Yay! Thank you, Shiro, for helping me get that.
Your Excellency, please allow me to amend my answer.
Please allow me to read some chat, because I miss you, chat. I miss you, and I want to read some chat here. Queen Kitty says to Shiro, yeah, but I had these fun facts set up for ages. Plus, Logan was wondering if Eugene was the defendant. Lol. Rukov says maybe. Shiro says fair, but seeing him flounder and wondering what ifs is interesting. Entertaining. That was pinned earlier by Rukov. Shiro says, mods, please pin. Susato being in disguise is why we said to disable the outfits. Once you get the trial and see this outfit, you can decide if you want to turn on the outfits. It actually makes the case funnier because Susato isn't disguised anymore. So that was pinned earlier. I think we'll stay with this because we probably won't get to see her in this outfit for most of the rest of the game. And it's kind of cute seeing her like in uniform doing a Ryunosuke. She even has the armband and everything. I wonder if we dug that up from Kazuma's grave. No, because Ryunosuke has his real armband. So where did we get this one? Well, yeah, why don't we have our armband in our court record? Maybe it's a fake, it's a forgery. Probably so that we won't be able to inspect it and see what name is written on the inside. Quickita said, yeah, it's only for this case. Minor fun fact, this case is 2 pages of my guide. In the first game's case 1, it was 3. Okay, so it's gonna be shorter. That brings up a question. I want to ask you guys, because I seem to recall you guys said that the second game is considerably longer than the first game. Is that correct? Quickita said, just gonna post this very first spoiler clip for the second game. Okay, so hang on. A clip has been posted into the chat. And I'll read some YouTube as well in a second, so hang on. But for anyone who's new or lurking or does not know the deal, if you post a clip into our chat, we watch the clip. I think right now you can still only do it on Twitch. For some reason, YouTube doesn't allow it. But some of our community members have taken to making things that we've come to refer to as spoiler clips, which is where I either guess something very right, guess something very wrong, or accidentally foreshadow something. This one is from last month and is titled, She Took That Personally. So let's see what this is. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, but not of women. So the court will hear you, madam.
but only if you put on a voice to try and sound like you're a boy.
Oh, this is what I was talking about. Yes, I haven't made a TikTok or a short of this yet, but I'm going to. I'm absolutely going to. Go ahead, Miss Susato. I trust that you can do a boy's voice, please. I've got like the time code for it and everything written down.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us in the voice of a boy?
And then that's what she did. Thank you very much for the clip. So that is the one. I'm looking forward to doing that. Let me read some over on YouTube. I gotta scroll up. Let's see. Derma was saying, I have a 150 plus year old book on my shelf, but it ain't cursive. Honestly, were it not for the printing date, you'd never be able to tell. Oh, that's really cool. Graham says, hey y'all, sorry for being late. No worries, how are you doing? Shira says, you're fine, Graham. Grim says, I got an old ammo crate as a storage box. That's neat. And then, hi, Shiro, who are these characters on the game? Well, this is Susato, but she's in disguise as Ryutaro. She's doing a boy. Not doing a boy, she's doing being a boy, doing being a boy. And Derma says, I mean, the victim kind of deserved it, not because she's a murderer, but because she's British/J. I cannot stress this enough. Grim says, hey, Dermo. And Derma says, Grim, so Susato returned to Japan to see her sick father and now has to defend her best friend in court. Since women can't be in Japanese court, she's currently cross-dressing. And Grim says, okay, thanks, Dermo. And Shira says, wait, wasn't Eugene dying at the end of game one? He seems okay. Well, it was a couple months ago. So I guess he's gotten better. Maybe we nursed him back to health. I'd been suspecting at the time that maybe he wasn't really sick and that Strongheart had just like told us that to get us out of there. But that was back when I was sussing that Strongheart was a bad guy, and apparently I was wrong. So let's play some more of the game, and then I'll be back to the chat soon. And for anyone who's lurking, by the way, I do, as you can tell, I read every comment in chat. I'm just very, very far behind, so feel free to like say stuff. I'll eventually say it out loud on stream, and you'll be like, hey, that was me, unless you already left out of frustration that it took me so long to get there. Anyway,
Your Excellency, please allow me to amend my answer.
Very well, I will excuse this incorrect response given your wide-eyed state of panic. What is the name of the victim in this case?
Jezeel Brett.
Yes!
Yes! I mean, yes. The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Jezeel Brett. Huh.
Good answer. Jezeel Brett.
A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure.
So was she just walking around free? The impression was, the implication was last time that she wasn't going to get sent to jail.
Correct!
I mean, I guess the game's going to answer it.
And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name.
Who?
So let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember.
Will I get funny answers if I get these ones wrong?
That was the start of everything. Jezeel Brett. Behind the woman student's persona was the face of...
I gotta save. I wanna do the funny things. I'm not seeing any hit points on the line, so we're gonna keep doing silly answers.
Behind the woman student persona was the face of...
A victim, Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria! It's the Queen herself!
Huh. Queen Victoria. Obviously. Oh, I'm a boy. Did I mention that? I'm a boy.
What? The Queen is dead!
Obviously not!
The Queen of England studying overseas? Is it going amongst the people type of thing? Hiding and going, it's disguised. It's like Jasmine in Aladdin, dressed like a normal person, then she meets an Aladdin and they fall in love.
I thought it sounded a little odd.
Leave me out of this. I disown you, daughter. I mean, son, daughter, son, girl, boy. I'm sure you know all the details of the case in question from 9 months ago.
Oh yes, how could I forget? I know every last detail about it.
Then what on earth was that absurd answer you just gave? Oh, no more absurdity, please, Council. I can't take this. You will amend your answer.
Yes, of course, Your Excellency. Do they both have to call my answer absurd? I thought it was whimsical. Behind the woman student persona was the face of a victim. A victim, obviously.
I mean, okay, I did it technically, but that's not the reason why. Oh. The victim's role is already taken, Council, as you should know. The answer came with such misguided confidence, I was almost taken in. I like that. That is a real thing, though. That is, okay, all joking aside, that is like a real phenomenon in like human beings. Is that if people say things with enough confidence, that like there is a innate human tendency to just conform to what other people say. It's like, oh wow, if that person said it with that much confidence, it must be true. It's not good. I mean, like evolutionarily, it probably helps us like avoid danger and stuff, but it's in modern society, that ain't good because people do be liars.
I thought it sounded a little odd.
Leave me out of this. Check the court record and find the correct answer to the question of Miss Brett's true identity. You'll find it in the people section.
The peephole section? But I left the Catslappa map back in England.
That won't do, Council. Amend your answer before we have any more victims to contend with. That's a threat. I'm threatening violence, but it's okay because it's against a boy.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course, Your Excellency. Behind the woman student's persona was the face of a killer.
Yes!
Yes. 9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed.
Oh, I know who the killer is of this. 9 months ago? The baby. Giselle Brett had a baby. Just came out of her. It's like, have you ever seen nature documentaries for when like kangaroos give birth? Like a baby kangaroo, a joey, will right out and then like climb up and then climb into the pouch. It was the same thing. She probably baby right out and then climb and then like crawl down her mouth and into her lung, which is where they, and then just started like stabbing through the inside of the lung and then climb out and just scuttled away. Science and zoology.
And the culprit was Giselle Brett.
Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain, and it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead, left behind a pink-haired little girl. Still doesn't know about this. I believe he was an associate of yours, but wait, this is me.
I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba.
I thought it was him explaining this.
Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic science. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan, and I who invited him to that restaurant, and I who invited him to be murdered as a visiting professor at the university.
I like that angle on Susato. She looks so stern and serious. I'm gonna read some more in the chat though, because we're over an hour. I can pause and read some chat. I'm allowed. It's like a little treat. It's like I'm like a little puppy. I did something good. I need a little treat here. Shiro says, oh my gosh, ha 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 ha. Bubba says, oop, we get a keyboard slam, little does Logan. No. Lord Shiro says, I know, right? Cope, I hope it's not our dad. He says, moments before disaster. Timestamp, 35 minutes, 22 seconds. Okay, I'm over a half hour behind. Quita said, just the first cross-examination. You still do die after. Okay, it's the first cross-examination. We'll do the goofy stuff. Quita says, oh, don't worry, Logan. It's been posted. Shiro says, lol. Quita says, you're a few messages away from the name fact. And then Ryutaro is comprised of Ryu from Ryunosuke and Taro, a common series of kanji for boys' names. Ah, I like that. Yeah, it reminds me of Monotaro from Danganronpa V3. Shiro says, please, I just realized I misread. The achievement is on the first decision, not the second. Oh, thank you, Shiro, for having my back. That was fun. Queen says, yes, it's the first choice that does that achievement. You have to do all of the options besides the correct one. And Shiro says, oh no, mods are gone. Read my message above that, Logan. Queen says, nah, we just wanted you to be the first choice, to know the first choice is the achievement. You have to do all the options besides the correct one for the achievement, and don't forget, you cannot die, so you can do all of them. And Queen Gator the Hydrate, I'll do that, then I'll read some YouTube chat, then we'll get back in the game. I'm a little bit worried that on Twitch chat we're already on slow mode. Makes me think I'm very, very far behind. Let's see, over on YouTube, Grim says, for some lore, hello, cult leader Logan. No cults allowed on YouTube, harumph. Shira says, game 2 is longer than game 1. Okay, that's good. It took us 31 or 32 streams to do the first game? Durma says, Shiro, yeah, he was, ... I guess he recovered. Grim says, yep, the judge voice does not sound right for this judge. I know, but it's the judges can only have 2 voices in this series, Grim. Our judges and Ace Attorney only have either the judgy voice, as we call it, or he can be a Canadian voice, say, go out there and play some hockey and have some poutine. Is poutine a Canadian thing? I don't know about that. Those are the only 2 options. Shiro says, to each their own. Grim. Durma says, I'll refrain from saying what's on my mind. Grim says, why, Dermo? Grim says, is it spoilers? And Durma says, Grim, 1, because there's no politics rule, and 2, it's a tad dark. I'll say this, I chose a bad time to go into Kneecap. Oh, that's the band that you mentioned before, right? And Grim says, bruv. Okay, let's get back in the game, and then I'll read some more of the chat in a minute. By the way, thank you all for being here, for spending your Thursday with me. Oh, pin message on Twitch. Magpie says, Susato's male name, Boyish McBoy's name. This is giving me flashbacks to the to B12 on American Dad. The one that's like obviously a girl and just pretended to be a boy.
Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishwoman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. Am I allowed now to tell everyone it was secret? A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. A second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Jezale Brett. That crime? Racism. And a smidgen of murder, but a lot of racism. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime, that she was racist. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, oh, this is what I've been talking about. She's probably going to say that she refused to say it. So in this case, hopefully we'll find out in this case, by the end of the game, we've got it. We've got to. She gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion. And after that, nobody bothered to ever ask her again. Kind of lost interest. Once something's out of my courtroom, I stop caring about it. Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead. Okay.
Well, why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there.
Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. Oh, so it's taken all 9 months just to do that. Okay, I can see why in the future of Japanifornia, they're like, oh, 3 days. 3 days, that's plenty. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship. Okay, so yeah, we're explaining why she wasn't in jail and everything. Thank you, game.
And yet the very day before her departure, the English woman was killed. Oh, she was hot. Uh-oh. Only the day before?
That's a girl, right? You guys can tell that is a girl.
That will do! I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant, usually on a third try. But, he gets there.
Oh. Wow. Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle.
Now a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie!
I don't slam the desk. I just set my hands. As is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th August in broad daylight against Broad, who was in the light of the day.
Ah, seagulls! They're the state bird of Utah.
On the outskirts of the imperial capital under a bright blue sky at the secluded bathing spot by the sea.
We having a beach episode? We can have a beach episode? Well, not just, it's a bathing spot. We're not just gonna have a beach episode. We're gonna have a onsen, a hot spring episode. We're gonna have people walking in on each other naked. Let me read some more in the chat. Let's see. Magpie says, oh, the S/F thing isn't a cursive thing. It's a printmaking thing. I think, yeah, I don't know why like that. It's like, are S's too difficult to understand? Like, why did they do that back then? Shiro says, the just was referring to the test questions, not asking if he was defending himself. Magpie says, it started off that the lowercase s looking like F was a unique character. It's not even for all versions of lowercase s. I think it was only for starting words, or maybe it was for only when it's not, I think it's when it's not starting words, but I could be wrong. I forgot. Either way, it stopped showing up because of printmaking. Okay, good, because it always confused me. And Queen Katie with another timestamp, 52 minutes and 21 seconds. Okay, so I'm like 25-ish minutes behind. Something like that. Or wait, maybe longer. I don't know. Eggland says, hello. Ben's playing Splatoon Raiders. So I'm late. Is that the new one? Did it finally come out? How is it? Queen says, Logan, it's both wrong options. I hadn't read all this stuff in chat, but we got there. Shiro says, if he saves scums, he won't get the achievement. And then Queen says, it's both Ouchie and Eugene for the achievement. Shiro says, well, he is trying to guess it, TBH. Eglin says, and we got there. So thank you guys for having my back. Eglin says, also, had a massive panic attack earlier, but that's less important than Splatoon Raiders. I think your health and well-being is important, Eglin. I hope you're okay now. Queen says no, and then a hug, and then ... I'm going to redeem a beef if he gets confused, lol. Shiro says he'll read the chat if he gets stuck, and Queen says yeah, but he's so behind, and Shiro says he just needs to read YouTube chat. He's fairly caught up there. Vero! Says the ever-helpful Vero! How you doing, Vero? Welcome! Vero, I don't know if you know, we're gonna have some more Transformers reveals tomorrow from San Diego Comic-Con. They already had one this morning at the Hasbro breakfast. They showed 2 of Nexus Prime's limbs. But Vero, I've been wanting to ask you. Okay, time out, because I gotta ask a Transformers question, Vero. Vero, how are your friends doing? Any of them looking for, any of them been successful, I should say, in finding Starscream from the Studio Series 86 Seeker mold at the Target exclusive? People seem to be having a real hard time. I hope they're doing okay. But Vero, how are you? Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Scroll up. Dermo says, poor Iris. It's one thing to wait for the right time, as sometimes people aren't ready for her to hear news, but it's been ages. Well, not only that, but like we should have, like, acknowledging the fact that she's a 10-year-old kid and it might be really difficult for her to find out that her dad died. Herlock is basically her guardian at this point. We should have at least told him, it's like, hey, Herlock, I gotta pull you aside. So your buddy, your assistant, John Wilson, here's what happened. This is her dad. What should we do? You know, and you're the guardian. You decide. You know, we should have deferred to him. It's total bullcrap that does nothing but just needlessly protract the tension, the drama, whatever. It bugs me. Grim says, we are a cult. No! Derma says, Grim rule number 1 of the cult, you don't mention the cult. Reveal says, what about Gavel? Frowny face. Oh, that's right. Gavel was a judge, technically. I should have given her the judgy voice, shouldn't I have? Big mistake on my part. And Grim says, no, Ryunosuke didn't want it, didn't do it. It was me. I did it. The judge in this one looks Canadian. And Derma says, oh my gosh, she actually got shanghaied. Oh, yes. Technically. Okay, let's play some more of the game. Who was talking? Was it the judge? Oh no, it was Ouchie.
On the outskirts of the imperial capital under a bright blue sky at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. Now we're thinking about people being naked. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected. I use that word on purpose for bathers to rest or change their clothes.
Also, I've seen that character on the curtain there. I'm not sure what it means, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. And she had a pen. I hope someone helped the swan. I hope the swan didn't get stabbed. Swan looks like it's laying dead too.
The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lungs.
She seems just like very, very mildly smiling about it.
An injury which proved fatal. There were 2 persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett, in her bathing attire.
That was not bathing attire. Was it? I don't think that was bathing attire. I need to check that photo again.
And the accused, remember me. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive.
Aren't you going to mention whether or not I was in bathing attire?
The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady. Oh.
Bathing suits. Oh, okay, I'm back. Well, that extraordinary description. Serious, can you describe the bathing suits? How did Jezebel Brett look? Description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
That's certainly true. The prosecution's summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. Like, why did he have to say erected? Just unnecessary. Say it was built. It was put up. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about...
The powerful motive, obviously. That's the thing that he was vague about. The bathing spot, it doesn't matter. Being alone together, okay, they were in there. The girls like to get naked together. That's what they say. I don't know if it's... I assume it's true, right? Chat, girls just probably love getting naked together. The powerful motive, I'm going to save, though, in case I am dumb. In case I'm dumb. Oh, hang on. Were my hit points up? Can I ask for more about all of these things? Oh, I don't see my hit points. Maybe I can ask about all of these. I saved, so let's try it. Let's ask about the bathing spot. Let's ask about that. Let's ask about the bathing spot.
If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie. What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student? I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot. Could you elaborate? I love nothing more. My apologies. Clearly, my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins. No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder.
Oh, that is a good question. Why was she at a bathing spot?
Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea? Well, she's hot. If a hot girl wants to get in a bathing suit, no court on earth would say no to that. For old time's sake, I believe.
Murderers have that privilege for old time's sake. I'm going to read some more in the chat. Let's see. Shira says, okay, we good. Quigator says, phew. Vera says, good morning, guys. Quigator said, Vera, good timing. Vera says, what's up? I'm so happy to see you, Vera. We missed you last time at Deltarune. Quigator says, we would have needed you, but we're good. But we're about to get the first testimony, and you know who is in that testimony? What? Is it going to be Hosonaga? I bet it's Hosonaga. We're probably going to see him in another disguise. Oh, maybe he's going to be a cabana boy. That's what I'm going to guess. It's going to be Hosonaga as a cabana boy. Vera says, tee-hee. Quia says, cannot wait for Logan's reaction to that first clip. Vera says, case 3 is where the game starts getting longer. Ooh, okay. And then Quia says, mwehehe, grabs popcorn. The next spoiler clip I'll be posting soon is the one I said you posted as a TikTok/short and surprised. Okay, so that wasn't it, because I'm still going to make one out of that one. The act like a boy. And Vera says, 30 seconds slow mode on. And Quia says, thank you. Let me take a look at YouTube chat. Let's see. Grim says, get stick bug. I can't do the stick bug dance. I can't do that. Grim says, also, I have a question. Who else remembers if there used to be a Pokemon called Doug Duo, which is Middle Evo of Douglet and Dugtrio. There was not, however, there was that one ostrich that had like 2 heads, and it had a name that was similar, but no, it just went from Diglett to Dugtrio. I'm like 99% sure of that. But I think the ostrich thing with 2 heads was like I don't remember what its name was. And then Grim says, I think I remember that Pokemon. Till Streamlabs, I say hi. Logan should play Ultra Kill. Derba says, so Logan, remember when I joked about the game has a beach episode /J? The spoiler chat thought I was spoiling because I forgot there's actually a beach episode. I should fully believe you, because Vero is the only one that lies to me about beach episodes. It's okay, though. It gets my hopes up. And the Derba says, she died as she lived, annoyingly smug, and recently nude. Anyway, let's get back in the game.
For old time's sake, I believe. Sorry. Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
Okay, that makes it sound like that the British government arranged to have her killed. That they're like, okay, yeah, this is great. This will be the opportunity for us to send somebody in to just, like, eliminate the problem.
But on what grounds would we agree to such a request?
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal.
That's sad.
Well, don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. Although I did go there and I got one of those newfangled cameras. I took so many photos. None of them turned out. You have to stay still for a long time, and she was bouncing all over the place. In any case, it was decided with a dedicated detective on duty. Duty. Nothing could go wrong.
Hosonaga. You're gonna see Hosonaga. I hope he's still in his Cabana Boy attire. I hope he comes out, he's just in like, either trunks and like a towel over his shoulder, or those old-timey swimsuits where it like has the shoulder straps and it's like all striped. Maybe even like a life preserver around him and like a shower cap type of a thing.
But in fact, a murder took place. I said don't look at me! It was that young student girl who did it, not I! No one has proved that yet.
I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
At this stage, I need to gather more information, I think. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about...
Okay, so maybe we do have to go through all 3 of these. Maybe, okay, so we'll do being alone together. The motive seems like it'd be the most important thing here.
Minbari-san.
Yes, what is it, Susato? Oh, no, I mean, Yuri. Naruhodo-san.
I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryutaro Susato. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her.
Oh, wait, were you going into a testimony? Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There was Hosonaga. He was also changing, and we just decided, you know, we'll just all get naked together, and who's gonna tell? There were other people present, a detective who was guarding Miss Brett for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion. That's, wait, a companion? Why does a convicted murderer need a companion?
But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. So, the truth is, there was only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. Oh no! Because, as we know, you're gonna say she had a powerful motive. The following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai.
Speaking of which, like, Termo, you mentioned, is this where the phrase "get Shanghaied" comes from? Because you've heard that before. I've never really thought about it. Was there just like a stereotype back then of people from Shanghai kidnapping people a lot and whisking them away?
And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Hubba, hubba, hubba. No, you're wrong. That is a boy. That is a boy.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, Council.
Oh, good, being tough with him. I like that.
The prosecution council seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that. But for now at least, we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you.
Oh dear, this is really terrifying. But Father's right, we need more information. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about
Powerful motive. Okay, I'm just gonna take a guess as the motive, because I need to get more correct guesses. As I said last game, I had like one right guess the entire game. I'm gonna guess the motive is that she was a student of John Wilson, and she was trying to take revenge for his murder. A powerful motive.
You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement. Tut, tut, tut. Is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand? I beg your pardon? No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membari-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment.
I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Fascinating to hear. Now another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting then?
It's gonna be John Wilson. I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson. John H. Wilson. John H. Wilson. Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago?
Yeah, I can't tell if that's a boy or a girl.
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man.
Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had toward the English woman who killed him.
Well, obviously, I was filled with hatred for what she'd done, a powerful hatred. I do like the fact that she's being honest about this. She's not trying to act like, I didn't hate her. I think that shows some integrity, right? I'm going to read some more in the chat. Let's take a look over at Twitch first, then we'll look at YouTube after that. On Twitch, Queen Gator said this is the second time a culprit of one case has been the victim of another. The first time would have been, when was that? I know we've done it before, but I'm trying to think when that would have happened. Said for the sake of those who haven't played certain games, I will not elaborate. Okay, so I guess we shouldn't say. It's good that I didn't say that. Okay, no, now I remember which one. Okay, yeah, we can't say. Shira says, yeah, that other example threw me off hard. And then quick the timestamp, 1 hour, 7 minutes. Okay, so I'm just under a half hour behind now. Crystal said, a killer, but not the killer. /J says, that's Susato. I know, she's impersonating a boy. I mean, Susato, that's Ryutaro. That is a boy. That is a just strong, independent boy who don't need no woman. Queen says, yup, Susato with a boy's voice. Magpie says Susato's male name, boyish McBoy's name. Queen says, I crave watermelon pop. I shall nab one. Crystal says, dang. Kasali, welcome back. Said, kind of wonder if you see the Yume pun. Imperial Yume University? There's a pun there? Yume. I'm not sure what it is. Are you still there? Did somebody explain? Did Queen Katie have a name fact for the Yume University pun? No, I think I missed it. I'd love to hear what it is. How are you doing, Catheli? It's good to see you again. I always worry when we meet people for the first time that it's like, oh, then we'll never see that person again. So welcome back. Shiro says, Kazuma, and then crying face. And Crystal said, Kazuma, ... become a zombie and come back to life, broken heart. Let me take a look at YouTube chat. Taco says, I woke up. Can someone sing me a lullaby? Okay, I'll sing you a lullaby, Taco, okay? Yeah, you gotta close your eyes. Lullaby and good night. Soon you'll sleep and never wake up. That's called death. You've no breath. You will rot in the ground. Because, like, lullabies always have to have, like, dark things, like, you know, rockabye baby in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will drop. Cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. And down come baby, cradle. It's like a lullaby about a baby falling out of a tree and probably dying. It needs to be soothing and threaten death, apparently. Grim says, hey, hey, Taco. Taco says, hey, hey, Grim. Pro tip, never run and a trampoline with roller skates. That sounds dangerous. Shira says, Doduo is a Pokemon named Logan. Oh, that's the one. Okay, so that's probably the one that you were thinking of, Grim. Thank you very much, Shiro. And Taco says, don't ask why I did. It's not important. Well, now I want to know why. Now I really want to know why. Let me get one or two more over on Twitch. Vera says, he saw and wondered if we dug it out of Kazuma's grave, lol. Then realized Ryu probably got the Kazuma one. Feeling like my beach episode joke got a crazy level domino effect. Oh my gosh, I don't think any of my friends even attempted to try and find him. Good luck trying to get him for real, for real. Why would you ever make exclusives of popular characters is beyond me. Can I tell chat about this real quick? Okay, so time out from the game, everybody. Lurkers, I promise I'll get it back to the game, but time out for the game. I need to tell you guys about this. So chat, for the Transformers, for people collecting, they decided to make a brand new, highly anticipated toy of Starscream using the brand new Seeker mold. They have everybody's excited for it, but for some reason decided to make it a Target exclusive, okay? I don't know why. He's like one of the top 5 most important characters, biggest names in the series. Highly, as I said, highly anticipated figure. Everybody wants this. And it's like, no, only Target. And Target has a bad track record of stocking these exclusives, as we saw last year with Magenta Hot Rod. So earlier this week is when he released. And so I went on Target's website one night in the middle of the night and checked, and I found a Target nearby. There were 2 Target stores nearby. They were gonna have stock the very next day. And so I got up at the crack of dawn, okay? And I drove over there and like, I'm gonna get there right as they open. I looked on Google. Google said they were gonna open at 7 a.m. So I drove over there to get there at 7 a.m. And I got there and found out that Google was wrong. And they opened at 8 a.m. I'm like, crap, I don't wanna like sit around in a parking lot for like an hour, but I wanna get the figure, but I don't wanna sit in a parking lot for an hour. It's like, okay, that sucks. I don't wanna do this. And so, but here's the problem. When the 2 stores did open, the other store that I didn't try going to, apparently they lost all their stock. They misplaced it. So they did not have it. And the store that I did go to and I was too early to get in, apparently within 45 minutes, sold out of all of their stock. And so the only way that I could have possibly gotten it was if I'd done something stupid, like sit in a parking lot for an hour with nothing to do, and then go in there and be the first person at the shelf when it was put out there on the shelf and grab Starscream and go check out before they ran out. That was the only way I could have possibly gotten the figure, is if I had nothing else to do but sit in my car, tired from getting up super early for an hour. I hope Vera was like watching, since so much of that was visual and not just listening, because then you wouldn't have gotten the joke at the very end. But yeah, it sold out, like I said, 45. And then on the website, apparently people who like managed to pre-order on the website, like a bunch of them got cancellations and backwards, like, well, not cancellation, but it's like, sorry, it's backordered. We don't know when we'll get it. And they took down all the stuff about anything on the website for it. It's like, no, we don't know when it'll be back. And Vera says, that's insane. It is insane. And you did watch what I was doing when I was talking about what I would have had to do, right, Vero? You were watching the screen when I said what I would have had to do to hypothetically get that figure the other day when that happened. So yes, that was very frustrating for me. Again, I hope Vera was watching when I did that, because there was the visual going along with the audio for it. It was frustrating. So that's why the other day when we were playing Deltarune, I was saying, I hope Vero gets here. I have Transformers collecting stuff to talk about. Let's play some more of the game. And then we'll be back into the chat. Oh, we got a raid! Tony's Game Lounge raiding with a party of 1! How are you doing, Tony? Would Vero and or Crystal, or Crystal, I guess, be so kind as do a quick shout out for... Oh, there we go. How's your stream? You're playing...
Back later. Good chat.
Final Fantasy VI!
Get the stick.
You're playing FF6?
Oh god, crap. Wiggles brings up the
Wait, have I seen you play this game before? What is this one? Looks like a horror game.
Stick.
Huh?
I need to be punished, Daddy.
Huh?
Don't fall! You're playing Final Fantasy VI. That's my favorite game of all time. Oh, and another one.
Helmet. That's. What does this look like? Hold on.
So how was your stream tonight, Tony?
Oh my god!
Is that a Darth Vader helmet? It's so tiny, I can't see. Oh, is that oh, what is that?
Okay, I'm gonna fucking...
What's it look like, though?
Yeah, what does it look like?
I like it with just like the white khakis and the button-up shirt. So, let's get back into the game now. Thank you very much for the raid, Tony. I hope your stream went well. I am very behind in the chat, but I'll eventually catch up. I promise. I'll get there. Okay. Well, obviously, I was filled with hatred for what she had done. A powerful hatred.
Oh no, Ray! Be careful what you're saying!
Whew. See, she's just too darn honest.
The motive was revenge! Plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Oh. I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university.
So she wasn't even, like, held in custody or anything?
Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
Seeing the murder of the mentor for whom she had such great respect, enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment and murderous rage and the murder. Can we just say the murder is understandable?
Poor Ray! So, Your Excellency, if you be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident.
I hope it's going to be black and white. It's kind of bullcrap that all the prints before were in color. They shouldn't have had color film yet. Again, unless you like colored them in with markers. Okay, so it is kind of a bathing suit. She's got a bathrobe on. Before I had assumed the sleeves and everything were just a full-on outfit. Yes, thank you, Council. A tragic image.
As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden.
In the dress back there, in the big floofy dress, like a tiny person could hide in there. Like Ringo Skulkin could hidden in there. Oh, I like that her suitcase has multiple masks. Look at that hanging from the, okay, there we go. I wasn't sure if moving the mouse here. Got multiple masks there. What else we have? So we got a spilled bottle. I guess when we get the court record, I'll be able to examine it more thoroughly. There's footprints all over on the ground. Wait, what is that next to her? Is that a feather or something?
As you can see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden.
The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
A photographic print of the scene taken by police just after the incident occurred. The stab wound in the victim's back is clearly visible.
As I understand it, then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time.
Let's save and let's take a look at the court record. I want to take a closer look at that and see if we can glean any potential clues or bits of information. Maybe if we're lucky, the game will even let us like click on things. I doubt it, but let's see. Okay, so there's a bunch of feathers scattered around. So those are presumably just from the swan. We have that wine glass we saw fall down, and this is presumably a wine spill. Although we didn't see it fall from her. Wait, in fact, on this side, she's got a pen in her hand. So you would think that if she was holding the wine glass in this hand, she wouldn't have a pen. But if she was holding in this hand, it would have fallen over here. So you know what that might be is that maybe she fought back and stabbed somebody else and there was like a big blood splatter or some other stain here. And the murderer was like, oh crap, I gotta cover up this evidence. Oh, I spilled some wine here. Oh no, it's covering up whatever happened there. Which could have been blood, could have been water, could have been who knows what. So I think, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the killer probably dropped that there. Because, yeah, with her hand, I mean, there are other things. She didn't die instantly, so she might have writhed around or something like that. But, and the bottle is over here. I can't tell if it's corked. Can we put on magnifying glass? Is the bottle all corked up? It looks like it is. So that would explain why it's not leaking out. Oh, I didn't mean to click out of there. We once again have her little suitcase that has all of her masks, a pair of shoes, a hairbrush, and some folded up clothes. But over here we have a clothing rack and a purse. And over here we have some more drinks and ice and things like that. And a little cup of some sort, a little seat. The ice isn't melted. I don't know if that's important. We have all of these footprints. Can we tell if any of the footprints are on top of things? Because that would imply that they were done after she fell down. I can't tell if that footprint is on top of that feather or not. So I don't know if that'll be important. They're kind of just scattered all over the place. But I hope the swan is okay. That swan is a single mom. We saw it give birth to so many babies last game. All right, let's get back out here. As I understand it, then the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. All y'all who are over in the spoiler chat, I hope I said something there that's like, oh, we're impressed at Logan and his deductive skills. Or observation, I guess. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant. Well, Your Excellency, naturally, the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and darning evidence. Okay, so Hosonaga will be one witness. Again, I don't want to see repeated witnesses. I want to see new whimsical characters, so I just hope it's not Yasanosa Kurio Korekta.
Witnesses? But who? One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective.
That'll be Hosonaga.
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt.
Hubbub. Maybe she's both a boy and a girl.
Very well then, counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
I, Taketsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
Why, is one of them a buxom woman in a skimpy bathing suit or something like that?
Oh, sorry? Oh, yes. I haven't forgotten. That trial 9 months ago, here in this very courthouse, when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me.
By winning a case against you? Ah, there's his hair. So, wait, yeah, top not there, but this was like growing out of his forehead, so that's just different. I'm trying to remember, when he, at the end of it, did his hair come undone and come down?
Oh, Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
And we said we're his cousin, so he'll probably figure that's close enough for revenge. Wow, yes, aha! What?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten!
Ha! You've become conceited with age, counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new.
Oh, that's right, he cut his hair.
It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. No, Judge, turn around for a second. I'm gonna commit some good old-fashioned assault. Ha ha! Hwcha! Hwcho! Hicha! Oh!
So where did this come from?
Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls.
Okay.
Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died.
It's so dramatic. I mean, in the past, all the pains have just been like, I hate you. We're going elaborate.
The start of your own mini Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, counsel? Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head.
Oh, is that right there? Is that, yeah.
Observe the ouchie growth. Okay, watch. Oh! You see? You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown? I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something. I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly? Does anyone have a magnifying glass? Is that like micro hair? I said silence! Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruto clan. Well, I will vanquish you! And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand.
I wonder if, I'm assuming back when they made this, they probably were trying to leave it open-ended to make even more of these. Maybe the plan was that every game, instead of his hair getting worse and more bald, well, no, because like Winston Payne, I think, had more hair, but looked like a wig or something. Maybe, yeah, it's just going to grow more hair. Oh, hang on, we got a pin message on Twitch. Written by Queen Katie, pinned by Vero, says, in the Japanese version, Taketsuchi Ouchi states that his loss to Ryunosuke Naruhodo marked the end of his Bakumatsu era. Bakumatsu is the term used to refer to the end of Japan's Edo period, which marked the end of the Tokugawa shogunate before the transition to the Empire of Japan and the Meiji era, in which the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles takes place. Okay, that's cool. It's like Japanese history. I dig it. I will read some more of the chat in a minute. Let's get some background music, and then I'll catch up a little more in the chat, okay?
With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand.
Okay, so one's Hosonaga. I guess we'll just see who the other person is.
It looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial.
As long as there aren't actual steaks, like eating meat steaks. Milk steaks? What were we called? Beef steaks. Yeah, beef steaks this time. Wasn't that an Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing? Milk steak?
The prosecution and defense each has much to lose.
A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life.
Okay, see the witnesses? It is a straw. Oh, it's a turtle on. Ah! Soseki Natsume! He's back. At least I don't have to come up with new voices for either of them. Yay! Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. I'm going to save, and then we will read some more in the chat. I mean, this is one way for them to save on developmental costs of just, like, reusing characters, but it's fun characters they're reusing. So it's all good. And it is an old-timey swimsuit with the stripes and everything. Let's see, Vera says, he saw it and wondered if we dug it. Oh, I read that. Shiro says, pen, pineapple, apple pen. That's what it was. It was a pen, pineapple, apple pen. Queen says you can do all three. Doduo. Shiro says Doduo is a Pokemon, and Eglin says Doduo and Dodrio. That's right, because it grows the third head, right? Catheli says, Ray, sorry, my lawyer is too handsome. I got distracted. Kind of a little bit. Queen Gay with the timestamp, 1 hour, 34 minutes. Okay, I'm only like 20 minutes behind now. I'm doing great. Crystal with some emotes, and Vera says, by the way, the kanji on that room was that, which means rest. Oh, okay, cool. Magpie says, still less scary than what I actually have listened to in order to sleep. TBH. Vera says, I tried sending this from my phone for a while, but it wouldn't took me a min. I'm sorry, Vero. Oh, for doing the kanji. Catheli says, pun is Ryunosuke dialogue when examining the armband or the pin on his collar. Don't remember which. Well, I remember we examined his armband at one point. Was there a pun there? I remember doing some dialogue. I probably forgot. It's probably like Yume or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think it was like the armband, because we saw Kazuma's name was still embroidered on the inside. Vera says, oh my gosh, Logan! Crystal says, oh gosh, Logan. Vera says, could have had breakfast while waiting. That's insane. Crystal said, Logan, oh my gosh. Vera says, hoping people actually got him and not scalpers. Well, I mean, I think those ones went to like regular people, because when I was in there, as I was getting one, a guy came in and got another, and then he was calling his buddy, and he was like, hey buddy, you want to come and get another one? And then I saw somebody post online saying, I got there, and I got like the second to last, and somebody came in right as I was leaving and got the last one. So it sounded like people were going in and just getting one at a time. But yeah, they went fast. They went very fast. Magpie says, congratulations, Logan Law, thank you! Vera says, what? Dang it, he got it. And I was upset for him for a second, because you probably weren't watching. You were probably just listening. You didn't watch my screen. Sometimes visual things do be happening. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Let's see. Taco says, oh, excuse me, I read that. Grim says, oh, now I gotta scroll. Says, no, it didn't. There used to be a Pokemon called Doug Duo, which was Diglett Middle Evo from the anime and Kanto games. Okay, so maybe that was like in the like concept art and never made it, but no, it always just went Diglett and Doug Trio, and that was it. Grim says, I freaking remember it! And Taco says, aw, thanks, Logan. Thanks, Lunga. And Durma says, it has music notes. I'm guessing this is a lullaby. It says, oh, Taco, the pipes. Oh, Taco. I feel like I gotta say, oh, Taco Boy, like, oh, Taco Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go. And wait, I must bide. Crap, I forgot how the end of that, it's been so long since I've sung Danny Boy. Because usually it's too high for me to sing anyway. And Grim says, bruv is a try-hard collector. Shira says, I mean, a little bit. I love Seekers. Shira says, imagine being in Ouchie's position, being a professional with like 40 years of experience, losing to a pair of student boys, one of which hasn't graduated and one has 0 experience as a lawyer. I guess, but at the same time, we proved that our client was innocent. I mean, that has nothing to do, our client being guilty or innocent has nothing to do with Ouchie's skill. That is what the case ended up being. He should not feel bad about that. Shira says, that's pretty rough. And Grim says, I agree. I think I'm caught up on YouTube. Over on Twitch, we've got a pin message written by Catheli. Written by Vera says, I can tell the pun if you want, or do you prefer to find it yourself? Go ahead and tell me the pun, because I think we already examined it, and I'd love to hear what it was and refresh my memory. So yeah, Catheli, I'd love to hear that. Thank you very much. And there's where Tony's raid was. Thank you very much again for the raid, Tony. And Vera says, dang it. Wait, I read that. And then Tony says, hi, Logan. And there was a shout out. Tony says, I'm good. Was playing more FF6. The clip is Schedule 1. Oh, that's the one where they're like making drugs or something, right? Okay, let me have a sip of water and then we're going to get back in the game. May I just pause for one quick moment and say, I'm so happy that so many of you guys are here. I love seeing all of you guys here. It really makes me happy to hang out with you. Okay. Let's play some more. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. The turtle bobbing its head. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected. He's in disguise, we're in disguise. Can Soseki Natsume be in a disguise too? I love watching his little mustache over there move. And I am, well, the next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital, in fact, yes! Oh, who's that? I got awesome sideburns. That's my favorite character. Why is he have blue on it? Oh, it's because he writes with his right hand and gets ink smeared. I hope that's not the murderer. I love this man, whoever he is. He is my new favorite character in the entire game. Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am a Cat, a sensational success by Soseki Natsume. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but he's my favorite. He's got awesome sideburns. And again, I'm assuming that the blue on his hand is from like writing and ink smears. Although it's so conspicuous, I hope it's not a clue that he's a murderer, because his pencil is green, not blue. Oh my goodness. Struggling student from the provinces, please! You needn't be in awe of me. I needn't? It's only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence. But all of you, please relax. Call me Soseki, even. Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here?
Tread carefully, Susato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he?
So does Hosonaga. But I feel like Hosonaga is a respecter of disguises. That he would recognize us and go, oh, she's in disguise as well. I cannot give her away.
If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
Yes, of course, I know. I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although, he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is, oh, it's so sexy. Oh, that is like, I can see upper arm flesh, like just a little bit. You can see a little bit where his tan stops. Oh, that is the most revealing outfit I've ever seen on a man. And he's only got 5 buttons holding it all together. It's hard to believe. Oh, and why does he have a turtle on his head? I don't know. I wish I had a turtle on my head. Do I have something on my face? Glasses.
And a turtle. I wish the turtle had glasses.
Well, your glasses for what although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. Ah, I suppose it's this disguise, is it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony.
Thank you. I just love that every time we see you, you're in different outfits.
It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawless.
Oh, he's still wearing the draped cloth from being a waiter. I guess it's a towel. Like I said, he's a cabana boy or something, but still. Oh, hang on, we got a pin message has just appeared on Twitch. This is written by Queen Katie Pin by Vera. Says, Kazuya Nuri proposed the beach as a crime setting so that the characters could be redesigned in an immediately noticeable way, having them wear bathing suits. That makes it sound like there's gonna be more than one bathing suit we're gonna see. It is beach episode time! Thank you very much for the pin message and the information. Let's try and see if we can get to the testimony, and I will read some more in the chat because I'm still behind. And we're past the 2-hour mark now. What was he saying? It is my guiding principle to carry out testimonies flawlessly. I think that's what he said. Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san? I like to watch the women bathe. Ah, well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
At Yume University?
After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the medical science department. Is that gonna be Eugene, my dad? Or is that... Or will that be, Ray? Oh, the professor over there, in fact. Okay, so it is my dad.
With my father? I mean, with Professor Mikotoba, who is not my father, whose seed did not create me.
Yes, that's right. My seed did not create her. Him. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who'd studied in Great Britain.
Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. Ah, they secretly spy, snap, shot, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. I love that guy back there. I love that man back there. As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. We'll add to the court record. Clearly, there's going to be evidence in there. Read it at your leisure, my provincial, struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies.
Thank you very much. He practically threw the paper at me. You didn't see it, but we're just telling you it happened.
The Soseki Natsumi article has been entered into the court record.
A newspaper containing an article about a discussion between my father and Soseki-san. The debate became quite spirited. He's not gonna be the murderer, right? Let's take a closer look at it. Oh, he got a new cat! Oh, that's sad. He moved on from Wagahai. Okay, and it's all in Japanese, so I can't read any of this. It's like all kanji without like pronunciations. Like some of them, I can like pronounce the hiragana and stuff, but I don't know what's going on here. Well, he's chopping at Eugene's neck there. Ah, look at little kitty. Lick. It's a fun picture. We can do a magnifying glass. Right. There we are. Yeah. I've wondered. I guess that's gonna be important later somehow. Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. Quote, I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words.
As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course.
At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her. That detective I am at liberty to divulge was me, Chief Justice Satoru Hosanaga.
Oh, we have a pin message written over on Twitch, written by Magpie. Pinned by Vera said, I believe the new cat is one of Wagai's kittens. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Remember, he had them as stowaways in his pockets. I had forgotten. Oh, so it's not just a new cat. It's Wagai's posterity. Thank you. I'll read some more in the chat now, because I am behind. I can't believe we're already 2 hours into the stream. This has been whizzing by in my head. I think it's because I'm so happy to have you guys here. Anytime that, like, I'm just excited to hang out with you guys, the streams just fly by. Queen Gator says, hey, Logan, once we meet another character, I'm going to post a very neat meme video in the Discord. It features a lot of Ace Attorney characters, but this case had the only character you hadn't seen yet, so I never posted it, and I love it. Is it the photographer guy? I don't know if he's gonna get a name. I just assume it's photographer guy. Tony said, stream-wise was good. We got Setzer and Mog in the party. Nice. I love Setzer as a character. Well, I mean, as much as I love all the characters in there. Him and Umaro I never really used, because Setzer's gambling thing, I hate in turn-based RPGs when you have a character that does gambling stuff. And then with Umaro, with characters that you can't control that are just berserker. But I hope you had fun, Tony. Queen says, second spoiler clip incoming soon, I hope. Crystal says, it would be normal for her to be angry, though. What is they talking about? Kaifi says, I thought this guy was 2D until I saw him move his head. Also, how do y'all hate on Kaifi? Vera says, hi, welcome in. Queen said, Logan says silly things, but to be fair, this woman did hide a gun in her dress 9 months ago, so anything can happen at this point. See? She could have hidden a little man who was a murderer in her dress. Eglin says, I wish I could just have the chocolate shell part of a Klondike bar without the ice cream, which I know is technically just a chocolate bar, but I mean, it's thinner. I wish it was more easy to find like chocolate ice cream bars like that have chocolate ice cream inside. That's what I prefer, but people everywhere want to use vanilla. Queen says, Vero, it's time soon. Shiro said, it's better than Nosa and Correcta. I know it is. I'm happy. Shiro. Vera says, I'm super excited. Krista with a smile. Kavi said, the trial 9 months ago? Vera says, it was cut and it came down. Yep. Queen says, have you played the Great Ace Attorney? We're on the second game. Crystal says, someone got pregnant and gave birth in that time /J. And Kyvie says, not a one. And Crystal says, I miss Kazuma. Kyvie says, what? Expect to be slightly spoiled then, lol, says Queen Katie. And Kyvie says, I'm probably not going to play it for like 20 years anyway. So plenty of time for you to forget stuff. And there was a pinned name fact earlier. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. But oh, I got to scroll up. There's been some more chatting there. Let's see. Yeah, Shira was saying pretty rough. Grim says, I agree. Grim says, Soseki looks like he has leukemia. What are the visual appearances of leukemia? Shiro says, all I will say about the guy that appeared behind Soseki is that he's the one I think your normal voice works great for. So maybe he'll get to talk later. We'll get to call him as a witness because he was... Oh, you know what? It probably is that if Soseki is a witness, then surely the paparazzi that was following him around would have witnessed things too. I just hope he's not a murderer. He's probably a murderer. Grim says, also, why does the judge have armor in the courtroom? Makes no sense. I don't know, the same reason why that, like, Kazuma had a sword. It's just, like, cool. I think the real question is, why do regular judges not wear armor in the courtroom? Derma says, Grim, we've had swords and guns in court before. You can't be too careful. And Grim says, bruv. Okay, so I'm still caught up on YouTube. And I'm still behind on Twitch. So let's get back into the game for a bit. That detective I am at liberty to divulge was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosanaga. Every time I say Satoru, I want to say Satoru Gojo. Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems. It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach. Oh, so much blood. But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment. I know, yeah. Yeah, that's great. Riddled with tuberculosis, but fit tuberculosis. Oh, no, that's right. We established last time. Although I guess the game didn't say it, but I guess the devs decided that it's a buckwheat allergy, right? I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly. Oh my, Inspector, you have blood. You have blood trickling down your chin. Well, you do have something on your face now. How unsightly. I do apologize. Does that mean you went to the beach too, Father? You didn't bring me? I've always wanted to go to the beach.
No, fortunately, I had work to finish up. Fortunately, I don't like people seeing my bare chest. Very self-conscious about my body. I have a muffin top. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that, as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place.
Just as she took his place as the accused in the case, you guys said. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. Ah, but if only I had, I'd never have seen that awful sight. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret. Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast.
Of course, Your Excellency.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret, I am. Yay! 2 hours and 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes into the stream, we made it to our first testimony. The witness scene. Let's save. I think it's probably been a while since we've saved. I know I was just recently in the chat, but I'm so behind. I should read a bit more in the chat, then we'll see the testimony. I think the goal is, in the next 45 minutes to an hour, I want to try and get through this cross-examination. Except y'all said that in the first one, I can't die. So we can do silly, goofy make-em-ups and silly things that present wrong stuff. So we're going to do that. Let's see, Crystal says, laughing. Kaifi says, all right, my eyes are tired. Time to sleep. Thank you for popping in for a little bit, Kaifi. Get some rest, sleep well. If you can't sleep, feel free to come back and hang out. Shiro says, night. Catheli says, so Simon learned the cut-cross technique from Kazuma/JK. I mean, can we, because we've talked before about how we want to try and headcanon who everybody is an ancestor of. Can we say that Kazuma, like before he died, left some pregnant wife at home in Japan, and that she gave birth to the Blackwill line? Shiro says, so Simon learned his sword skills from anime. The beefsteaks are high in this trial. Egglin says, why was Milksteak the first guest? I don't know why I popped in, because there's a bit, I've only seen a couple of episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but there's a bit that they did where, was it Charlie or something? They were asking like what his favorite food is. And he's like, milk steak. And like, what? What is that? That's not a thing. It's like, just put milk steak. It's like, what is a milk steak? I don't know, just put milk steak. And I don't know, made me laugh. We have a pin message written by Queen Kitty, pinned by Vera, said, please pin, once you present your first evidence in this, you will now officially be able to die. Okay, so you mean present my first correct evidence? Or present my first wrong evidence? Because I want to present a lot of wrong evidence. But thank you very much. Queen said, this is a spoiler clip that you made into a TikTok/short. Imagine just casually seeing this on my For You page. Okay, so we have another clip that's been posted. Again, if you're new, if you're lurking, if you don't know the deal, if you post a clip, we watch a clip. Still, for stupid reasons, YouTube won't let us post clips into that chat. But this is a clip from 3 months ago that apparently I made into a TikTok, and Queen Katie says is a spoiler clip, so it's that I accidentally foreshadowed something with this. Is titled, A Disguise Too Good. Oh, this looks like it's the one where I'm like, who is this guy? I can't recognize him at all. Let's see. Yeah, I remember making this clip. Can't tell. Why did I say it like that? Da 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 da. Oh crap, I see the pin message. I forgot to bring it up. I am dumb. You guys just listened to, you couldn't hear the audio, could you? So we gotta start it over.
Osanaga.
Thank you.
Is that?
Now you can see it. I am so sorry. Thank you, Miro. I'm not good at this.
Naruhodo-san?
I'm so
bad. I don't recognize that man. His
at this.
disguise is too good.
Now
If
you
he
guys
goes
can see it, right?
undercover, I can't tell who he is.
Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door.
Thank you.
I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, yeah. You're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you?
Where have I seen this guy? No clue. He looks like just a little, like, vaguely familiar.
It's the guy that played Scarecrow in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
And that's the part that's a spoiler, is that this whole thing's gonna be all about Dr. Jonathan Crane. For Magpie and Vex out there. So thank you very much for the spoiler clip. I think it was pretty obvious that Hosonaga would come back in other disguises. We saw him as a waiter, we saw him as a sailor, and all that stuff. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, Queen Katie. You just can't tell these disguises are, as your title said, Queen Katie, just too good. Just too good. Heck, all he needs to do is pull off his glasses, and like, I think it's Superman now. Shira says, so Saki, Vera said, my goat. Hey, wow, it's my Ribbon Herald. I don't need a new one for the second game. Catheli says, anxiety, Catman is back. And a timestamp from Queen Katie, 1 hour, 53 minutes. I'm getting caught up. Catheli says, I can teleport if you want, or do you prefer to find out yourself? Yeah, go ahead, please tell me. Queen said, never mind what I said about the meme video a few messages ago. Once you catch up here, according to the guide, you're not meeting the character officially, lol. So forget I said that till next stream. Oh, but I will post a video after the case regardless. Thank you, Queen Katie. And Shira says, you aren't caught up on YouTube, am I not? There is a bruv. Let's see. I guess there's more messages now. Let's see. Durma says, oh my gosh, there's an ice cream bar called Feast, which recently changed to using vanilla ice cream inside. The jerks can't keep getting away with this. What did it used to be inside? I assume anything that would be better than vanilla. Grim says, vanilla is the best ice cream flavor. It is too underrated. Also, Logan, his skin is yellow, but not yellow enough to be an actual race, which is why he looks like he has leukemia. Again, isn't it jaundice that makes your pallor turn like a pale yellow, especially like the whites of your eyes? And again, I think it's a liver disease, but I don't know, maybe it's leukemia as well. I have never had it, knock on wood, hopefully never will. Let's play a little bit more of the game now.
On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
Oh, hang on. Pin message from Catheli says, so the pin on the uniform collar is basically what allows you to enter the campus, because you may come in. Ah! Hey! There we go. Thank you very much, Catheli. So I wonder when we would have seen that. Would have been maybe when we were examining Kazuma in the second case or something. Maybe we were clicking on it then or something like that. But either way, thank you very much, Catheli. I had probably missed that, or maybe I saw it and I just forgot about it. But either way, I really appreciate it.
I just managed to catch that crab!
That crab? What crab?
When I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me!
Caterwaul's another fun word. Okay, so we'll definitely press and find out more about the crab.
I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Yes, that young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand as she stabbed wildly.
Was she holding the dagger? Did she pull a Ryunosuke and pick up the murder weapon off the floor?
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times.
Well, no, okay, that's going to be where we're going to present the evidence, obviously, because the court record, I think, said that she was stabbed only once, right? Indeed, it does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. Post-mortem report. Where was it? Single deep stab wound from behind, piercing lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. So both of them, he said, Hosonaga said clear that she stabbed multiple times, and Saseki was like stabbing. So that's going to be what we will present, obviously. But we'll still press every statement and maybe present some wrong things just for funsies, since we can't die, and just see what happens. Indeed, it does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime!
Oh, I hate the word heinous. It sounds like something bad. Now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Yes, this was it. Darning evidence.
What have you there, counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it?
Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body.
And it was in her hand, yeah?
It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength.
Did she try to write a message in the sand or something? Is that why all the footprints were stomped around?
The victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer.
Or maybe the pen belonged to Ray?
What? Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over to the photographic print of the crime scene once more.
So I guess we're going to say that maybe she was holding the glass and dropped it and then grabbed for the pen as she was dying. Is that what we're saying here? Ah, goodness me!
Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand. That's not how I'd hold a pen, though. I'd hold it like this, like I'm writing.
That's right, the fountain pen. Huh. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency.
Does have Ray's name on it or something?
The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel. R.M. Remember me. The initials of the defendant.
It could also be the initials of Ryunosuke Maruhodo.
Oh, no! Oh, I did the thing that he did.
Hubbub, hubbub, hubbub. I think she is dead. I don't.
So she got all of our animations, apparently. The holding up the hand, the falling over thing. Is she doing that because that's just what being behind the bench does to you? I guess not the bench, whatever, the behind our counter does to us? Or is it just because that she thinks that's what lawyers are supposed to do because she's seen us do it so many times?
This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence. The fountain pen has been entered into the court record.
The pen the victim was found grasping in her hand. It carries the initials RIM.
So, have I omitted anything?
I want to examine the pen. I want to look at the pen. I can't. That's BS. I want to click on things, including the pen.
Decisive testimony and darning evidence. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel. I'm dead. I am still dead. Seriously, look at my sprite. I'm not breathing. This is my ghost now talking from outside of my body. I don't understand. The prosecutor Ouchie of 9 months ago had none of this man's poise.
Counsel for the defense, do you have a crush on Ouchie now? He has intense animal magnetism. You may begin your cross-examination now.
Huh? I said I'm dead. I am dead.
Naruhodo-san!
I'm still dead. Naruhodo. That means, oh yes, me, boy.
Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom?
Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom.
Counsel Ryotaro, please pull yourself together, please.
All right, I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant, where it slowly zooms in. I have an adorable upturned nose, so you could go up my nostril if you wanted to, cameraman. Go up my nostril. See my boogers. See my boogers. Oh, it stopped. Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do. Yay!
Here we go, cross-examination. The witness scene.
Okay, so you guys know the deal. We're gonna save, press every statement. Wait, hang on, that shows our hit points up there. Although the one on the left isn't like flashing, I thought you said that we can't die. I'm gonna save, and we'll save before we present any funny evidence. And then we'll see what happens. But before we do any of that, I need to read some more in the chat. Wait, did I save? I can't remember if I hit cancel or not. Yeah, save. Save at my poggers. And let's read some more in the chat first. Let's see, Vera says, doesn't the character show up in the background in the first cross-examination? Oh, so that's gotta be who it was! The photographer, right? Shira says, Logan thinks he's caught up on YouTube, but he's not even close. Kappa, was I not? But I think I'm still caught up. I'm so confused. Queen said, yes, but the meme video shows more animations, and I don't think Logan will see those tonight. Okay, and Vera says, aha. Shira with an emote, and Queen says, Kazuya Nuri, oh, that was pinned earlier. Vera says, can't wait to see Logan see Hosanaga's concept art after the second game. Oh, please tell me there's just like all sorts of disguises he's wearing. Magpie says, I believe the new cat is one of Wagai's kittens. Oh, that was pinned earlier. And the timestamp from Queen Katie 2 hours, 10 minutes. I'm only 15 minutes behind. And we're close to the 2.5 hour mark. So on Twitch, now is a great time to look out for raid suggestions for later on when we reach the 3 hour mark. Queen said, please pin, once you present your first evidence in this, you'll now officially be able to die. Correct evidence afterwards, it'll now be considered done with the first testimony, and you will get hit points. Vera says, it's not up on Steam. Thank you, Vero. I'm dumb. Queen said, Logan, you're just staring into the void. That's right, because you couldn't even hear it. Huh. Oh. Queen Viewer says, sitting in awkward silence. Queen says, I was so shocked seeing you did the entire exact spoiler clip I had. Lol, and Vero with the lurk. Thank you for the lurk, Vero. See you when you get back. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Wait, hang on. Is my pin message no longer pinned? Oh no, it is still pinned there on YouTube. I don't know why I didn't see it for a second there. Let's see. Scroll up. Grim says, Dermo says, chocolate. See, that's the best. That's the best ice cream. Grim says, I'm often behind in the chat, but I check it frequently and will read every comment here and on Twitch. That's what my pin message said. And now you're spamming it. Why are you spamming it? Shiro says, imagine being caught up. Grim says, I don't have to be informed of the crime I'm being accused of. Shiro says, mission impossible. Grim says, Soseki looks like he has leukemia. Don't I have to be informed of the crime I am being accused of? Probably depends on your rights. I mean, in like the United States, I think constitutionally, yeah, you have a right to be informed of the crime you're accused of, I think. I don't know. I've never been accused of a crime, so I would not know. Let's see. Over on Twitch, there is the pin message from Catheli. Thank you again. Vera says, lol, yes. Shira says, Caterwall. Yeah, Caterwall. Okay. Let's play some more, and then we'll be back. So we're going to press every statement and then figure out what we're going to do for evidence, both silly and for realsies. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
Hold it! Hold it! In that jaunty disguise?
Correct.
Wait, no! I mean, it wasn't the first time I've worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Quote, do what must be done to keep the Englishwoman under surveillance. Those were my orders that day. And this tried and tested outfit was the answer? Being able to blend flawlessly into the crowd is an important part of a detective's job.
Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? All I see is background. Where is he? He's blended seamlessly into the background.
I submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only Mr. Turtle.
Oh, his name is Mr. Turtle.
Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface.
I thought that was just a turtle on the stand. A turtle inconspicuously on the witness stand.
Mr. Turtle loves the water.
Oh, you can tell. Look at that face. He's so happy. You can tell by the great expression of that he is very happy.
But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really, was there?
Let a man have hobbies!
If that made you late arriving on the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong.
You hear that, Mr. Turtle? Oh, where'd you come from? You just appeared out of nowhere.
Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment.
I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me. Ask about the crab.
Hold it! You're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Soseki-san.
Ask about the crab! In more literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Kya! Or the like, something of that nature. Perhaps arms in different orientations. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describe things so.
Soseki-san wasn't at all like this in England,
because he's a success now. He's a Soseki full author. Anyway, I spun around at the noise and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze.
Yes, the beach hut.
The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for rest and recuperation. We see it again. They're getting their money's worth from this. Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. Oh, that crab! There's the crab! Right there! Right there, there's the crab! The beach hut is a simple structure, erected. Why we gotta keep saying erected? As a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun. With the crab.
Although the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself, which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand. Oh, my Natsume were just hanging out there.
These Natsume, is that what? Okay. I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you.
Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut to run.
Why were you trying to catch a crab while you're naked on the sand?
Or, in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hut-wise.
How many more statements we got? We got 3 more.
I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question.
Hold it!
Wait, by pair, you don't mean to say, but how could that be?
No, you misunderstand. It was...
Wait, why is she confused with the pair? It's Jezeel, Brett, and Ray Membami.
Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant, Ray Membari-san. Who did we think it was?
Oh, it would have been helpful if you could have just said that from the outset. I thought you were talking about fruit.
If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes. Dear me, pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish, very foolish. It really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly. I don't want to be silly. So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court exactly how you found the aforementioned pair in the hut? Well, it was a sorry sight. A really grisly scene. I parted the Noren curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim sprawled on the sand.
Oh, did you see poor Mr. Turtle's head? Oh, it was bobbling all over the place. That's gonna snap his neck. You be more careful with Mr. Turtle.
My glasses very nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes. How thoroughly appalling. Oh, he doesn't appear to be lying here.
Well, so Seki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying, I wonder?
Ah, you'd like a literary man's opinion?
Okay, while he's straining to just squirt one out, let me read some more comments in the chat, because this is taking a little while, and I'm still behind, and we're past the 2.5 hour mark. So again, if you got raid suggestions, let me know. Queen Katie says, Judge, is this how one makes these dark worlds with a pen? A fountain pen? Deltarune reference? Yeah. Angry, smiley, mischievous face. Queen Katie says, captions, Ryunosuke Maruhodo. Shiro says, Susato is emulating Ryunosuke so hard. But again, is it just because that's what the being a lawyer does to you? Or is she just like trying to be Ryunosuke? Queen Katie says, the guide lied to me. How could you, guide? Shiro says, we can't die early is what was implied. So I'm guessing you can't die, but you're probably gonna still lose hit points. We'll try one for funsies to see what happens. But if we get, but I will save scum the crap out of it. Shiro says, you misunderstood. Queen Katie said, yeah, I hate when I misread wordings. The power of the autistic. Oh, and there's only 4 more comments, and I'll be fully caught up on Twitch as well. Let me take a look at YouTube. Where did I leave off? See, Grim says, I am in the US. And Shiro says, not everywhere, Grim. Grim says, bruv still thinks he's caught up. Shiro says he often gets close to catching up on Twitch, but stops when he reads for like 1 more minute. He catches up. Grim says, I'm often behind in the chat. That was pinned earlier. Yeah, Grim says, quote of the day. Dermo says, Muscar, I'm sorry you can't stick around, Dermo. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us. I appreciate you so much. Have a good rest of your day, Dermo. And Grim says, bye-bye, Dermo. And see, now I'm caught up on YouTube. I'm all caught up on YouTube. And I'm close to catching up over on Twitch. Yes! That young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly.
Hold it!
Stabbed wildly? You actually saw her do it?
Oh, indeed. The terrible specter, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment. I can't stretch my arms behind my shoulders as much as he can. I like the rhyme of the terrible specter
the Terrapin Inspector. That's good. That's some good localization. Hey! Every sight and sound is still carved into my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation. Council, what on earth was that shrill, effeminate scream? Oh, it's good that I did it high-pitched. I didn't down-pitch that.
No. Ahem, no. What are you insinuating? That I'm really a girl disguised as a boy to be a lawyer? How dare you? Want me to prove it? Want me to whip out my junk? I'll whip it out. I'll just plop it on the counter here. I'm gonna need a couple of help with hands with it because it's big. It's so huge. Require at least like 5 hands to plop that. It's so much junk. Why do you want to see that? Prosecutor, ouchie. That's so weird of you. I will do it. But it's weird that you want to see my dude junk. I'm a boy. I'm as manly as a Japanese man as you. Flexing my muscles.
I wonder if I might interject here, Soseki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression, were your words just now, I believe.
So you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described?
No, I mean, yes. I know what I saw. My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream, hence my eyes didn't deceive me either. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial.
Hubbub. What if she's a boy and a girl stacked on top of each other in a uniform?
It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn. After this, getting to know Soseki could just be I Am a Boy.
I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become.
Oh dear, how awkward.
Okay, so we got one more statement to press, and again, this obviously we're going to present the evidence. It's going to be the autopsy report, and then we will have officially made it through the first cross-examination. We are being so productive today.
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she had stabbed the victim multiple times.
Hold it!
She was stabbed multiple times? How can you be sure of that? Very simply, from the blood on the blade.
So it's going to say there's too much blood for one stab? I don't know if you can tell that just by looking. Are we going to say there's just a lot? Maybe some of it was wine splattered?
The blood? When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air.
Yes, that's right! I saw it too!
Oh! And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point. In other words, the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene.
Yes, that's right! I saw it too!
And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly.
That is true. It was within minutes, but not instantly. Yes, right! I saw it too!
Maybe a year in London was too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
The logic of your argument is sound, at least.
Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly.
Why are we being mean to Hosonaga? He's our friend.
That's just my personal opinion, of course. Oh, you B-word.
Oh, crap! Counsel, you refrained from mocking the witness. Whoa, the witness left! Judge, he's gone!
Oh no, I just have so many thoughts whirling around in my head. It's all I can do to stand here wide-eyed and mute.
Goodness, my dear, you really must try to calm down.
But how am I supposed to find an inconsistency in what these two gentlemen are saying? I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie.
What you must remember, I think, is that witnesses may inadvertently lie at times. For various reasons. A misunderstanding, a mistaken observation, a delusion even.
Ah, a delusion!
What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do that.
Yes, with evidence, of course.
Spoken like a true judicial assistant. During witness testimony, you can use E to pick a piece of evidence to present for consideration. So you need to listen carefully to each statement and compare what's said to the details in the court record. If you find some conflicting information, that may be the inconsistency you're looking for.
Yes, it's all about inconsistencies.
Once you've identified a witness's statement that appears to conflict with a piece of evidence, present the evidence to the witness with R, and the way ahead will present itself to you, I'm sure.
Yes! Yes! All right, then. I'll consider the details of all the evidence in the court record against each statement to find an inconsistency. I hope I'm up to the task.
Don't forget that you can have the witnesses repeat their statements as many times as you like. Everyone has to start at the beginning, remember. So those wide eyes are quite forgivable. Besides, there's no one else to defend the poor girl.
You're right. I need to listen to the testimony again from the start.
Okay, so let's go to where we're going to be presenting the evidence, which I believe was the fourth statement. Or no, maybe it was the fifth one? Yeah, there we go. This one. And we'll save, and I'll read a couple more comments. In fact, I might just like fully catch up to chat now, because I'm almost there on the Twitch side of things, which is okay. We're like less than 20 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. So let's just finish saving and back out here. There we go. Let's see. Magpie says, yes, in the US you have that right. I believe it's called habeas corpus. I think habeas corpus is that you have the right to, it's like the right to appear? I'm trying to remember, because like habeas corpus talks about like your body being there. I think, but I can't remember. I remember one time looking it up. Shiro says, Mr. Turtle! Mr. Turtle, I hope he's a major character. I hope that after this is over, Hosanagi gives it to us, and that Susato just straps him to her head and takes him back to England. I assume we're going back to England. Queen said, Mr. Turtle, best turtle. I mean, to be fair, there's not a whole lot of turtles in this, but if there were, he'd be the best. Unless Donatello from Ninja Turtles appeared, then he'd be second best turtle. Crystal with some raid suggestions. Thank you very much, Crystal. I'll copy these over into my text file for a little bit later on, because we will need to do that in about 15, 20-ish minutes, something like that. Thank you, Crystal. Shira says, you take damage for wrong answers now, Logan. Okay, so in that case, I guess we won't do the goofy, intentionally wrong stuff. We will just like go ahead and present the correct evidence. Oh, and Crystal with 2 more raid suggestions. I'm there! 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 34 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night on Twitch before the 3-hour mark this time. That's semi-rare-ish. I mean, not as rare as like before the 2-hour mark, which has happened on rare occasion. But thank you very much, Crystal. I will copy these other 2 raid suggestions over as well. And so between all these, this should hopefully provide us with enough options for later on. Thank you. Oh, another message appeared. Magpie says, habeas corpus literally means show me the body, so you have to be able to prove the crime actually happened. But there's also a specific right that says you have to be told that you're being what you're being charged with, and I'm not sure if it's that or another right. I think that might be another right, because again, habeas corpus I know it had something to do with like a body being there. I thought it was like the body of the defense or something like that, but maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Shiro says, we won't let you stay caught up on Twitch. Not a thing that can stay. Smiley face, well, too late. I'm still there. I'm still caught up. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Where did I leave off? Let's see. Scroll up. Grim says he ain't caught up. He thinks he is funny. I had pizza for dinner like 3 hours ago. What did you have for dinner for Logan? Tonight I had chicken and mashed potatoes and green beans. So it's like a healthy dinner tonight. Shira says, I had Chinese for dinner. Now I'm eating mini Oreos. Nice. Grim says, also, who else likes putting orange juice in a Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Oh, that sounds awful. I remember one time when I was still taking film classes at college, I did a short film featuring a friend of mine where the idea is he woke up on the wrong side of the bed and did everything wrong. And one thing is he accidentally poured orange juice on his Fruity Pebbles. And we filmed him doing that. And you know, to his credit, he took a bite out of that. And oh, it must have been awful. Oh, but especially Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Holy cow. Shiro says, Grim, ... Grim says, what? I don't like milk. Well, I guess if you don't like milk, you gotta find something else because Cinnamon Toast Crunch is too dry to eat without something on it. Shiro says, I mean, this in a nice way, seek medical assistant. And Grim says, I will not. Shiro says, OJ in cereal is signs of mental issues. I mean, at least it's better than like drinking orange juice right after brushing your teeth, though. Grim says, I have ADHD and autism and may also be possibly schizophrenic. Don't talk to me about mental issues. Shiro says, well, I did say it meant it in a nice way. I'm not trying to be provocative. And Grim says, I know. Also, French fries in applesauce is very delicious. That I would imagine is good. I know a lot of people who dip French fries into like a chocolate frosty from Wendy's, but I bet applesauce is probably good too because you can dip like, I like to dip pork chops into applesauce. That's very good. And Grim says, very good. Frozy says, hey, I know that guy. He's from the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I think he is. Including the turtle. He's from it. And Grim says, well, that's what he's playing. Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, oh, and then over on Twitch, Shiro says, not anymore. How much random nonsense can we put into chat to keep Logan distracted behind? Well, in the past, when we've had a lot of people active, but I think we got a lot of people lurking right now. People have done that. And it have been quite effective. Quickity with some emotes, and Shiro with some emotes, and I am staying caught up. Let me have a sip of water. We'll present our evidence. We're gonna get going here. Okay, so as I was saying before, the evidence we're gonna present is the autopsy report, which shows that she was stabbed only the one time, yeah? There we go, a single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung resulting in fatal hemorrhage. So yeah, one stab wound right there. And present.
Objection!
Objection!
Oh. Why did I turn black and white? Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Am I dissociating from my body? With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san, not Naruhodo-sama, I don't esteem him that highly, have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed.
That's like you said before. Oh, the stakes, the beef stakes are very high. Oh, isn't this her theme that's kind of playing? I like that she gets her own kind of theme for this. I think it is, or at least it sounds like it. What's the meaning of that menacing pose, Council? You've seen other people do it. She's confident. Just let her girl boss a bit. I mean boy boss. Let him boy boss a bit, please. Cause we're all sexist here, right? Boys.
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me.
Who? What? Where? When? How? But not why? I like that guy back there.
Not you, Sosaki-san. This query is directed at Inspector sorry. I forgot. I'm a boy. I'm such a boy. It's easy to forget. This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga. At me? In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Yes, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon. Ha! And yet, that cannot be. What?
Get to the point, please, Council. I can appreciate a boy boss as much as the rest of us, but come on, get it. You don't need to ask questions. Just tell him what contradiction is there. Oh, she's got her book.
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states...
Wait, why are you reading this out of this book? That's not the post-mortem report.
...that the victim was stabbed one time only.
Yeah.
And one is less than several.
I need to breathe. I haven't been breathing tonight. Running out of oxygen.
In other words, Inspector Hosanaga's testimony is clearly flawed.
Oh, that's the worst word to use, because he wants it to be flawless.
And so Seki-san,
Me?
you claim to have seen Mimbari-san in the throes of stabbing the victim.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember to breathe and don't think, feel.
Thank you, Chie. I'll do that. And one more. That just reminds me how much I'm gonna miss Aaron Fitzgerald once P4 Revival comes out. Thank you, Chie. I'll read a couple more quick comments in the chat. I'm gonna stay caught up. You guys can't stop me. Shiro says, I like distracting streamers. I feel like the evidence should have worked on Soseki saying wildly because he implied multiple stabs too, but Hosonaga is more specific. That's it. I think we needed to go with the specificity of it because he actually said multiple times. Yeah. Because it's going to be just like wild, and one of the stabs happened to get her. Shiro says, the beef stakes are high! Says, this is the Ryutaro thing. Oh, that's right, because that's not Susato. That's clearly a boy. Ryutaro. Shiro says, it's pretty good. Kuya says, Ryutaro.
You'll have to excuse me, my voice finally reached puberty at age 20 something.
Oh, that's right, because she's pretending probably not just to be a boy, but to be an adult. Because it's been 9 months since the first case, so unless she had her birthday... Well, no, because was she 16 or 17? I'm trying to think if she'd have to lie about her age, too. And Queen Kate with the Hydrate Command, thank you very much. I'll do that right now. Sarah says, please keep up on your oxygen intake. I know, I should. Says, we don't need you dying from lack of oxygen. I mean, we can stop you. We just got to keep talking and maybe bring up random topics to distract. Susato is 17 now, I believe. Okay. So she's lying about both. Unless they have a rule where it's like, yeah, you just got to be a boy, but he can be anything. He can be a baby. A baby boy could be a lawyer. That's totally fine. Let's see, over on YouTube, Shiro says, cheese fries, S tier. It depends on the cheese you put on them, though. If it's cheddar, oh, absolutely. If it's like American cheese, then... Grim says, how is Streamlabs doing? Just botting it up, I assume. And then Grim says, cult leader, Logan. Okay, let's keep going here. Yes, I did, wildly!
But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point, that there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding. Yes, and that's the #1 rule of improvisation. It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once, therefore, she must have stabbed other people as well. So she's a mass murderer. We have to comb the beach for bodies. Oh, I'm defending her. Crap, I thought I was a prosecutor. There is no way there could have been blood on the knife at that single stab wound hadn't already occurred.
Well, I'm assuming that they came in after she was already dead. Because otherwise, if they came in and she had already been stabbed, or hadn't been stabbed and then stabbed, then that's worse. That is worse for us. But it sounds like maybe it was the wine spilled on the knife instead. Ah, true! Then what exactly is your contention, counsel? Are you ever gonna tell us? Just get to the gosh dang point!
Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san in fact saw was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. So the stabbing had already happened. She walked in, which I don't think you should do. Like, if you walk in and someone's already stabbed, that could, like, hurt even more, right? We've talked about this. Chat, if you walk in on someone who's been stabbed, don't take the knife out. You're gonna make things worse. That can't be! Hubbub. Yeah, she's the boy. That makes no sense. I'm still so confused. I just want the gallery this entire trial to be fixated on whether Ryutaro is a boy or a girl.
Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them with that objection and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
Oh, there's the ouchie! Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in the trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempting to steal the show.
You're right, there were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who has only half a head of hair.
Can we just like say that no, it's like you have an unfair advantage in a battle of wits if like you are correct in who is guilty and not?
Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed.
In any case, is he gonna lose his tuft at the end of this? That'd be sad if it falls off his forehead.
In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference. What? What? Why not? Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow.
Well, all we're saying is that they didn't actually see the stab. It could have been somebody else, and then she just likes to collect knives.
And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw.
We should do what the prosecutors always do, say, all right, you got proof of that? You got proof? Give me some proof, bro! I'm gonna save again. I think it's been a little while since we've done that. And let me read some more comments in the chat, because we are getting ever closer to the 3-hour mark. We're like 3.5 minutes away from that. Let's see. Oh, I gotta scroll up just a little bit. Shiro says, Susato is 17 now, I believe. I think Ryutaro is 20-ish. I like the idea that she has like a full backstory for her boy persona. Queen said, the wiki needs to update that then. It still says she's 16. Well, because it could be either. Since it's been 9 months, it all depends on when her birthday is. Shiro says, but I don't think the age is specified. Queen says, wiki will usually list out several numbers. So it'd be 16, 17. 16, 17, is that what we're doing there? I'm guessing once she's our assistant again, if she ever appears in the court record, we can verify. Shiro says maybe her birthday doesn't fall during the game timeline. Susato is young, though. Regardless, she's lying about both being a boy and being an adult. Quiggin says, I guess so if it's 9 months since case one of the first game, so she is still 16, still not the age of the lawyer, like Kazuma and Runo. Shiro says, I still love the story of how Ryunosuke and Kazuma met. That was great. Wait, have we had the story of how they met? I'm trying to remember. Did we do that in the first game? I honestly don't remember now. I seem to remember a flashback when they were kids, but I don't remember what happened in it. Quiggin says Kazuma and Naruhodo are 23 and 24. Magpie says, so none of us are going to tell Logan he's been pronouncing Membami as Membari. Oh crap, I keep doing it because I said at the very beginning, it's because of Babylon 5. Because there's a species of alien on Babylon 5 called the Membari. I need to remember, it's remember me. I'm sorry, Magpie. I got Babylon 5 on the brain, which is understandable if you ever watch it. Great series. Very, very outdated 1990s television special effects, but great, great series. Shiro says, I usually don't try correcting if I've already told them once. I just leave them to how they do it. Ouchie, growth shall bloom into a massive head of hair, so much that it crushes him. Oh no! Crushed by that which he loves most. Said, not real, just joking around. Queen says, Logan, I wasn't doing the joke. No, I would never do the number joke. Are you sure you didn't do 16, 17? Magpie says, that'd be great for AA7, a pain with Rapunzel hair. I mean, you just need enough of a time skip to justify how it gets that long. Or have another one of his brothers. If you can have Winston and Gasp in pain, we could have another Ouchie. Shiro says, nah, you would, Katie. Queen said, no, I wouldn't. No, literally, no. Shiro says, you haven't gotten the story. Oh, haven't gotten the story. Okay, good. Queen says, I don't understand the 6-7 thing at all. Queen Kitty, you just wrote 6-7. You just wrote 6-7. How could you? I'm joking. Shiro says, it's a escapades thing. Okay, someone mentioned escapades last time. And I think we saw that in the additional content menu. Is that just new cutscenes, or is it like a DLC trial? Because you guys said it's a mini something, right? Shiro says, never try to understand the young people nonsense. I'm too old for that crap. Magpie says, understandable. I wouldn't want to stamp on Babylon 5 Love Low. Have you seen Babylon 5, Magpies? Oh, never seen it. But as a Firefly fan, I understand being a fan of lesser-known sci-fi franchises. Firefly's great as well. They're both great, but very different. Shiro says, Winston has a daughter that looks like Rapunzel. Oh! Okay. If we ever see a Winston/Gasp and Pain woman or an Ouchie woman, I hope she still has that exact face, but just a lady, just boobs and long hair. Quia says, I don't get it all. Trends are so odd. Shira says, it's mini stories. Magpie says, Wendy Payne. Window pane. I think we might need to change it slightly, Wendy, so it's not Wendy old bag. So it should be like, oh, you know what it is? It's going to be his mom, whose husband is dead. So it's widow. It's old widow Payne. Then to be window pane. Queen says, so thank you, Magpie, for that. Queen says it's like mini stories. Agnes said, the only Payne joke name I can think of is Simon Payne. Oh, parentheses, I'm in pain. Magpie says, then we'd have 3 Nichols. Characters named Simon. Oh yeah, because Simeon Saint was Simon, crap, what was his unofficial name? And then Shiro says, too many Simon. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Grim says, cult leader Logan, all hail cult leader. No, stop, no cults. Oh, and then just lots of all-hailing cult leader Logan there. My goodness. Did I save? I should save again. Because I am just a bit, I'm not really frazzled. My brain is a little all over the place. Just from lack of oxygen. Apparently it turns out that's like important or something like that. But since we are past the 3-hour mark, now is a really good time to let you all in on some very important information, especially you lurkers out there. I don't think I've done this at all tonight. Crap, I should have been doing this more often. Let me post our link tree in both chats, both on Twitch and on YouTube. My apologies for not doing this sooner. So any lurkers on both Twitch and YouTube, by the way, we're just timing out for a second to let you know, that is my link tree that has all of our social media, Discord invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all of that stuff. Everything you could ever possibly want. So feel free to check it out or ignore it as your heart's content. There is no requirement either way. And yeah, that is there. So also we'll give you our schedule. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. We are right now alternating between this, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and Deltarune Chapter 5. So that means tomorrow is Deltarune. We just reached, actually, I guess I shouldn't say people haven't played it, but we're getting a decent ways into it now, and it's getting very interesting and very fun, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And so we'll end up picking up on Sunday for where we leave off tonight. But we are past the 3-hour mark, everybody. So that means we need to wind down for the night. So that means we're going to raid out. But I love and appreciate all of you. Let's go ahead and we're going to populate a raid over on Twitch. Because I'm caught up to chat. We're past time. We need to start doing this. So here's a raid, one of the raid suggestions we had before, who apparently is playing a spooky-looking game called Homicipher. I've never played it, but it looks scary. It looks very, very scary. But there is our raid message. Wait, did I do that or did Crystal do it? No, I think I did it. Hang on, I feel like I gotta sneeze. Wow, that came out of nowhere. So we'll be able to check that out. Let me read a couple more comments here. Let's see. Yeah, Shira says, too many Simon. Simon Keys, that's what it was. Queen says, I'm so EP sleepy. Shira says, I never played the fan translation AAI 2. I didn't either, but we learned all the names when we played it. Queen said, thank you for the very second game stream. Shira says, only the official. Vera said, thank you for the very dashing stream. Oh, you're still here. I was worried that you had disappeared because we weren't talking for a while. Vero. Also, I wrote a bunch of stuff at the Transformers channel. Check it out on Discord. Eglin said, or Nick Payne. Oh, for neck pain, like a pain in the neck. I like that. Shira says, everyone ignore the link tree. Ah, it says, yeah, I haven't played Deltarune Chapter 3 through 5 yet. So I won't say what, but hang out. It's great if you have. Magpie says, oh, I like that one. Oh. And then Crystal says, Homicipher, let's go. Thank you for being here. I love and appreciate all of you guys are amazing. Twitch is going to raid out very soon, but have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It means the world. I just loved seeing you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. You're the best. You're an amazing community. The raid's about to start. Enjoy the raid. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. And Twitch has rated out over on YouTube. Grim says, hail, hail, hail. It's not a cult. It's a family. Oh, if it's a family, then that's okay. Then it's wholesome. Said, it's not a mistake. It's a masterpiece. It reminds me from like Outer Worlds. No, not Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds, right? It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. But everyone on YouTube, you're amazing as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I feel like we had a lot of lurkers on YouTube compared to like other Great Ace Attorney streams. I feel like Deltarune is still does the best with that sort of thing. But thank you for being here. You guys are wonderful. You're amazing. I really, really appreciate you. See you guys tomorrow for Deltarune and then Sunday for more Great Ace Attorney. So to everyone on YouTube and to everyone watching the VOD in the future, good night as well.